This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from PNC Park in Pittsburgh, the 4-game series rolls on. Tonight, game number 3, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And welcome to our Bally Studios here in St. Louis with Rick Ankiel, Jim Hayes. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And Rick, it's always a treat every 5th day to have the chance to watch Adam Wainwright. He's back out there tonight.
Well, you can say that again, and Adam has been on fire. His location with the fastball. He's been spotting it up in the zone, down in the zone. He can move it around the cut, the sink. You could see right there up on the screen the average velocity, 87, the third slowest, but because he's moving it around. And then the curveball. After that, he kind of sets you up. He will pitch backwards. What that means is he'll throw you curveballs when he's behind in the count, and that is what makes him so difficult to hit.
Pretty amazing here in 2021. The curveball strike percentage, nearly 70%. So he's throwing that at any time during an at-bat, isn't he?
Exactly right. That's it. So whether it's 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, it doesn't matter. It's a comfortable pitch for him. He has control of it. He knows how to start it, how to shape it. Plus, minus, it's hard to hit.
Some pretty good defense on display the last couple of nights for St. Louis. It's game 3 tonight, coming up on Bally Sports. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, the Cardinals winning last night, taking game 2, so 65-62. And this will now be assuredly another losing campaign for the Pirates. Loss number 82 last night. It is a warm, humid, muggy night at PNC. And the wild card standings, the Dodgers in control of that first spot. Then you have Cincinnati and San Diego 2 back. The Cardinals 4.5. Phillies at 500, 6 out, and the Mets 9 back at 61 and 67. So trying to keep this interesting here in the final month or so for the St. Louis Cardinals and this 2021 campaign. The red-hot Tommy Edman, he is driven in 5 in the series at the top of the lineup. Paul Goldschmidt, he was a home run shy of the cycle in game 2. Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Arenado, Yadier Molina riding an 8-game hitting streak. Dylan Carlson, Edmundo Sosa, Harrison Bader, and the pitcher batting 9th, Adam Wainwright. So Derek Shelton and the Pirates making some news today, letting go of the longest tenured Pirate and the last link to their 2014 and 15 teams, as they said officially goodbye to Gregory Polanco. Cole Tucker recalled from AAA, and Derek Shelton said it was one of the most difficult days he's had as the manager of the Pirates. Steven Brault, the lefty, and injured for the better part of this season, dealing with a lat strain, so he'll get the call tonight, and the Cardinals are familiar with him, and vice versa. What do we know, Ricky Ankiel, about Steven Brault?
Well, left-handed pitcher, fastball, curveball change. Wants to try to mix it up. A little bit of a side 3/4 delivery. He can be tough.
There's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal, the arsenal that you just spoke of. Tommy Edman leading it off. Last 12 games hitting .353, 4 doubles, home run last night, driven in 9, and he scored 11. So really has been a table setter for the Cardinals, and Goldie has been bringing him in, and he's on deck. And then we'll see Tyler O'Neill, the 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Edman gets underneath it, and a fly ball to the right fielder, Michael Chavis, who's been all over the diamond for the Pirates. So he's in right. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Chavis there, Reynolds in center, Gamble in left, It's Hayes, Newman, Defoe, Moran on the infield. Behind the plate, Michael Perez. Was an adventure last night for Tsutsugo in right field. Here's Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, he definitely had, he doesn't play out there much, but he definitely had a hard go of it, trying to read balls off of that chain link fence. And when you have a chain link fence in right field like that, you don't know which way the ball will bounce off of it. It could bounce left, it could bounce right, it could hit it and get stuck and fall straight down. So, that can be tough, especially for somebody who doesn't have much experience out there playing.
We saw that last night. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. He's third in hits in the National League. Well, for Brault, his fifth start of the year, already third against the Cardinals. Probably get around 4 or 5 innings, 75 pitches or so. Goldschmidt chops it left side in the hole. Newman and makes the play.
Smart decision by Ke'Bryan Hayes there to let that ball get by him and let the shortstop go ahead and take that ball. If he fields that ball himself moving to his left towards second base, he's going to have a hard time to spin and throw and might not have the time to throw out Goldschmidt.
Or maybe it's that off balance throw too if he doesn't spin. But there's a look at Ke'Bryan Hayes, top young player for the Pirates. There's Tyler O'Neill. 9 for his last 50, and he looks at a strike. Notice the home plate umpire Bill Welke, the crew chief. It's been some low strikes, and that could benefit Adam Wainwright, especially with that curveball. He keeps it down, he'll have success.
You're exactly right, and he's really good at getting that ball to drop through that bottom box of the strike zone, which has been getting called a lot lately. But if he's getting pitches down there, Pirates going to have a tough time tonight.
O'Neill 1 for 8 against this lefty, and he pulls it foul. One ball and 2 strikes. Balls and strikes. Bill Welke, Chris Conroy at first, Ben May at second, Chad Whitson down at third. O'Neill gets underneath it. And a fly ball to Ben Gamble in left. Coming over will be the center fielder, cutting in front, Brian Reynolds. Cardinals go 1-2-3. Last time he was on the mound at PNC, a complete game in 88 pitches. Waino goes tonight. Is on the mound. He's won 7 straight against the Pirates. No Cardinal has ever won 8 straight starts against Pittsburgh. So I guess the question is, how is he doing it? In the cat and mouse game, Rick Ankiel of Major League Baseball, as you get a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal, where you're always making adjustments, but yet he seems to find a way.
Well, this year, it seems like he has better fastball control than he's had in a few years, and he can sink it, he can cut it, he'll move it around, and then Uncle Charlie, he can throw in any count, so he can pitch you backwards. He's not afraid to throw the curveball 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. It doesn't matter. So even though you've seen him previously, it doesn't mean you're going to get pitched the exact same way, and you know what to look for.
As a matter of fact, he has not lost against the Pirates since April 3rd of 2016. Here's Ben Gamble, hitless last night, went 0 for 5, and a breaking ball that's 70 miles per hour in there for a strike.
You see that breaking ball at 70, and pitchers are taught early in the count, especially first pitch, if you're going to throw a curveball, go ahead and throw him the get me over one so you don't put as much spin on it, and later in the count you'll see him speed that spin up and he'll get a better one.
A little harder there at 83 miles an hour. Pirates lineup: Gamble, Hayes, and Reynolds in the first. Moran, Chavis, Defoe, Newman, Perez, and Brault. The 0-2 pitch. Little bouncer back to Adam Wainwright. He'll step and throw. Goldie there. There's the first out. Rick Ankiel's Toyota key to the game.
Adam Wainwright, keep them guessing. He's faced them a bunch of times. He's been dominating them. Keep him off balance. You never know what he's going to go with, what he's going to start. You see him finish off Gamble there with the comeback sinker that started at his hip and comes back to the inside part of the plate. Keep him guessing.
Keep him guessing, and that's something that he has done the best rate of his career. So this season, 34% of his strikes are called strikes. So no swing. 1 out of 3, highest rate in his career, just keeping guys off balance and guessing. Keep Brian Hayes at the plate, and a ground ball. Oh, what a play here. Arenado spinning and robbing Key Brian Hayes. Terrific play down at third, Nolan Arenado.
Man, is he good over there. You see him pick that short hop. That's not an easy play, but he got over there and picked it. If he doesn't get to that ball, there's no way they throw out Key Brian Hayes at first with his speed.
The All-State good hands play of the game. The short hop, spin and throw. Man, oh man. Not just the short hop, but then the spin and a smile from Waino, knowing that he also threw a strike to Paul Goldschmidt.
Unbelievable.
Now the switch hitting center fielder Brian Reynolds. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Brad Thompson in the pregame breaking down Adam Wainwright. He said that Mike Maddox and others, Greg Maddox, so successful because you look at when guys take strikes and you keep them off balance. It's exactly what we've been talking about, and it's also soft contact.
It's 7 strikes in a row.
7 pitches, 7 strikes, 3 groundouts. It's not supposed to be this easy. MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Nolan Arenado, Yadier Molina, and Dylan Carlson.
Well, you hear this a lot, but after making a good play, hitters sometimes do something special in the box.
He's been getting at starting pitchers of the opposing team. A lot of the home runs that he's hit have been early in games. First time up, he did that the other night. And Arenado lifts one out to center, backing up Reynolds, and at the edge of the track makes the catch.
Oh, he just missed it.
Brault knows it too, seeing his reaction there. So here's Molina, 8-game hitting streak on the line tonight, 9 for his last 31. And he's hit safely in 12 of his last 14. Season average at 259, the 8 home runs. He's driven in 51. And once again, it's a start for Yadi with Adam Wainwright on the mound. At first inning by Waino, now 20 consecutive scoreless innings against the Pirates. Driven into the gap in right center. Cut off by Reynolds. And Yadi, the wide turn around first base. He'll stop there. And the first hit in our ball game tonight.
Brault's been doing a great job of keeping the ball down in the zone. Yadi looking for the ball down and out there, takes advantage of it, stays on that ball nicely, drives it out to right field.
And that hit passes Gary Carter's 7th all-time among primary catchers and hits in baseball history for catchers. So Yadier Molina hit number 2093. And the batter is the switch hitter Dylan Carlson. Molina also 3 bases shy of tying Kenny Boyer's 6th most in Cardinals franchise history. Dillon is 2 for 2 against this lefty in his career. And it's a ball and a strike. One out, runner at first, and a 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, if there's any doubt that Yadier Molina is a Hall of Famer, he's putting that to rest with all the milestones, in particular, Rick, offensively, and the guys that he's passing. I mean, Hall of Famers right and left in offensive categories. Doubles, the hits. That's fouled back 2-2. And I think for all of us that follow him on a nightly, daily basis, we've talked about it a long time, but when you start doing the things that he's doing, the 2,000+ hits, to me that solidified it, but that's what's going to put him without question into the Hall of Fame.
There's no question he's a Hall of Famer. That question has been answered. Look, I played for 6 different organizations, played behind a bunch of different catchers, and there's nobody that even comes close to doing what he's able to do. From a mental standpoint, controlling the game, the signs that he's giving, just being 3 steps ahead, and how good he's been for so long. It's not, it's a no-brainer for me.
Full count on Carlson. And he pops it foul and out of play. Steven Brault against the Cardinals has made 14 appearances, 8 starts, 0-2 this year, 1-4 overall. Did have a complete game last year against St. Louis. That was at Busch Stadium, and the only complete game that he's ever thrown. 3-2 pitch, fouled back.
Brault got lucky there. Fastball right down the middle. Carlson knew it, just missed it. He wanted that back as well. 1 out with a runner on first. As a hitter, you're trying to hit a double here because you want to give that guy at first a chance to score.
Another 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. Runners at first and second. Edmundo Sosa. Sosa another start tonight. He's been on base 19 times in 33 plate appearances against the Pirates this year. .393 the average, couple of doubles, a triple, home run the other night. And playing in game number 100 of his major league career along with Ke'Bryan Hayes. Same with him tonight.
If I'm Sosa, I'm trying to drive that ball to right center like he did the other night, that bomb he hit, but I want to drive a ball into that gap. And the reason being, with a lefty out there, the sinker that's running away from me, yeah, he can throw the fastball in, but I want to stay away from that anyway. I'm looking, he uses the changeup a lot and the sinker. So if I'm thinking about driving a ball to the opposite field, that'll keep me on the changeup longer. And if I get a fastball out there that's tailing away from me, I can stay back and crush it.
0-1 pitch. Nothing in 2.
Good changeup down in the zone. He's thrown some great changeups down there tonight.
And the 0-2 pitch. Trying to get Sosa to chase upstairs. So Brault on Sunday, he was matched up against Wainwright at Busch Stadium, 4 innings. Cardinals won that ball game 3-0. Gave up just 1 run. Missed the first 4 months of this season with a lat injury. The 1-2 pitch. Sosa drives it out to left center. That ball all the way to the wall. Molina will score. Carlson being waved in. He will score. Sosa to third with a triple that drives in 2-0 St. Louis.
He smoked that ball into the gap. Got a pitch that he could handle, a fastball that stayed over the middle of the plate, and he did not miss it. Just like I was talking about before, even though there was 2 runners on with the double in that part of the park, the runner scores easily from first.
With the speed of Dylan Carlson, scoring easily right there by that 410 sign, one of the biggest parts of the ballpark. When they made that ballpark, they did not want to have just a perfect fence, if you will, with that curve, so they added in the bullpens and kind of a little quirky area out there. And now it's Bader, who is a guest of Jim Hayes on the pregame show, and a good chance to add to the lead. 1 out runner at third.
Do you know their reason for not wanting to have a perfect outfield? I'm asking.
I don't. I mean, the one thing I do know is that a lot of these newer ballparks, Cardinals included, as you know, will make the wall not quite as high as maybe you see at other places, so that you do have the home run saving catches. And sometimes it's a matter of space. Where are you going to put everything?
He's trying to make it harder on the outfielders.
And Bader yanks it foul down the left field line. We've seen it plenty of times in left field at this ballpark where outfielder can elevate, take a home run away. Sosa, your runner at third triple of the year, second at PNC. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The most challenging outfield I felt like was Houston. That hill out there, trying to run full speed, and then all of a sudden you're running uphill, was near impossible.
Ground ball off the glove of Brault, and the only play will go to first base. Sosa diving back in safely. Towles Hill, that was always interesting. And for a while, remember, they also had the flagpole that was in play up that hill.
Yes. Brault did everything right here. You see him knock the ball down. Then he takes a look at third to check the runner where Sosa is, gets him to stop, and then makes the play at first.
It's really a tough spot for the base running play there of Sosa. Going on contact, ball on the ground, ball that's hit in the air, and then one that's hit right back to the pitcher. And here's Wainwright. They respect him. They start him with a changeup. He's 2 for 4 with a couple of doubles against Steven Brault. Remember how this season started for Waino at the plate. 1 for 36, 20 strikeouts. Now 3 for his last 7. And a ground ball hit to short, taken there by Newman. The triple by Sosa. He now has driven in 15 this year. 2-0 midway through 2. The triple that brings in 2-0. Bottom of the second rolls in. Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Danny, Harrison Bader had an RBI double last night. He also threw out a runner at home plate. Bader has had a solid season, but he's had his struggles offensively in August. Bader told me he remains positive. He said, my game is multifaceted. My attitude is if I'm not getting hits offensively, then no one's getting hits defensively. Even when I'm not producing at the plate, I'm going to stay focused on making catches, throwing guys out, and staying aggressive. I know things will turn around at the plate. Danny Bader is always aggressive when he's out in center field, and he stays positive. He says things will turn for him offensively.
And think about last night, tying run on second, 2 outs. Cardinals up by a run in the 8th. Kevin Newman, a base hit to center. Bader charged, came up throwing, and got Colin Moran fairly easily at the plate. So even if things don't go right offensively, there are ways, we talk about it a lot, to impact the game, and Bader has done that.
And he was picture perfect. Exactly what you would want from an outfielder on that play. And the way that you do that is you have to anticipate the play. When you go back and watch that replay, he's charging immediately to cut the distance down. So one, he can get there quicker. Two, so he can, you have a closer throw. But he was absolutely right on that play.
The flip side, Cardinals up 3-2, 1 out. DeYoung had tripled. Edman hits a ball to shallow center. What happens? Ben Gamel didn't even throw home. And that made it 4-2, and the Cardinals win it by the final of 4-3. First inning, Adam Wainwright needed 7 pitches. All were strikes. Fewest pitches needed to get through a first inning this season for Adam Wainwright. There's a swing and a miss by Colin Moran. By the way, the 14th straight first inning in his starts, he has kept the opposition scoreless. So he comes out and ready to go and kind of sets the tone.
Well, that's 8 pitches and 8 straight strikes. And he's setting himself up for a Maddox. I'm going to go ahead and say it because the Pirates aren't up there taking. They know he's throwing strikes, and they're up there being aggressive.
What do you do when a pitcher's got 20 scoreless innings against you? So take me inside the dugout of the Pirates. They're looking at the film. They're going back and looking at every at bat. What's the adjustment you make with this guy? 2 strikes now on Moran.
There's a couple of things you can try and do. I mean, you can go up there and try to be patient, which obviously they're not doing that so far. But you can try to be patient and say, hey, we 20 scoreless innings. Let's get this guy out of there and get to the bullpen and beat the bullpen. Apparently they're not worried about that tonight. So they're going up there being aggressive, knowing that he's filling up the strike zone. For me, I'm looking for a ball up off of Adam because he does use that curveball so much, and it is a really, really good curveball that if he throws a good one in the bottom of the zone, I'm not going to do much with it anyway. So I'm looking for a fastball about belt high, and I'm looking for the curveballs that are up. I'm laying off any curveballs that start at my hip and break towards the plate or the ground.
He's gotten 4 ground ball outs to start this game. Latest off the bat of Moran, and here is Michael Chavis, picked up from the Boston Red Sox and getting a start in right field tonight. He was the 26th overall pick in 2014, and Ben Sherrington at the time was the GM of Boston when they drafted him, and now he's with the Pirates. He's 26 years old. And with the Red Sox, he played in 168 games. Pirates picked him up on the 30th of July. There's a ground ball to Nolan Arenado. 5 up, 5 down. Cardinals defense may be busy tonight with the way things are going. Round the horn presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. O'Neill, Bader, Carlson in the outfield. Arenado, Sosa, Edman, Goldie on the infield. Yadier Molina is behind the plate.
It's easy to play defense behind a guy who was filling up the strike zone. Keeps you on your toes.
Works quickly. Wilmer Defoe with 2 outs. Mentioned this the other night. Yadier Molina made his debut in this ballpark June 3rd of 2004. Played again at PNC a few weeks later, back on June 30th. The 7th inning of that game, score was tied, and he backpicked Rob Makoviak. Remember him. And last night it was number 53 of his career. 53 of those.
And last night he fake pumped.
Yes.
Which leaves you flat-footed. Right, tying run on first. So think about that, and then still throws a perfect strike. And when you're flat-footed like that and slinging that ball down to first, if he makes a mistake and throws it away, that guy's standing on third, the runner.
And there's the active leaders in pickoffs since 1974. Pudge Rodriguez with 83, Bob Boone 57, Jim Sundberg 55, Yachty at 53. Curveball of beauty. Boy, he'll throw that thing, as we talked about in the open, at any time in the count. 2-2.
Right out of bed.
Inside corner, comes back to get him, and his first strikeout of the night. 6 up, 6 down. Top of the lineup coming up. 2-0. In Pittsburgh, PNC Park. Cardinals and the Pirates tonight playing in Game 3 of their 4-game set. Cardinals have split the last 12 with the Pirates after winning the first 5 of the year. Split the first 2 of this series. But they have won the season series against the Pirates now for 8 straight years and 19 of the last 22. That's a lot of winning, and it's winning also on the road. And under Mike Schilt, they are 20-4 when he's been at the helm at PNC. 20-4. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tommy Edman, who flied to right to start our ball game.
That's doing work.
It's hard to do in baseball.
Yes, it is.
Grounder, foul. Tommy Edman last night picking up home run number 8, a 2-run shot out to left.
What I love about that, you hear so much about launch angle. That's about as flat as a swing as you can have, and he absolutely crushed that.
When he scores, Rick, the Cardinals are 24 games above 500. He's reached base safely in 17 of his last 18.
Even though that was a foul ball to Key Brian Hayes, you had a chance to really see his range.
That's in the gap again, near that 410 sign. Gamble cuts it off. Edman to second base, and it's a leadoff double to start play here in the 3rd.
Well, credit Gamble for hustling into that corner and cutting that ball off. If it gets past him, that's a triple easily with Tommy Edman's speed.
Yeah, I'm with you. If that gets by him to the wall, Tommy's at 3rd easily. He even thought about going even the fact that Gamble got there. One of the fastest players in the game. 34th double by Tommy Edman, so that passes Ozzie Albies. And a ball to Paul Goldschmidt. So Tommy leading the National League, 34 doubles. Goldie grounded out to short, first time up. You see there with the catcher Michael Perez going down to a knee, and I understand it, and we're seeing it more and more. I would think I'd understand it more with nobody on, as opposed to when a guy that could swipe third, or even just a base runner is out there. The mobility has to be cut down when you're down to one knee, and this is something that is being taught by a lot of different organizations to try to get that low strike in a better view for the umpire. But what do you think about that? Would you want that as a pitcher?
As a pitcher, yes, I do want that. My tendency was to throw to the middle of the catcher's body. So even though his glove, and I might have been picking out a teeny little spot in that glove, more than not, my ball would just end up towards the middle of the body. So yeah, I would want him down there. Matter of fact, Stubby Clapp caught me when I first signed. And Stubby's short, nothing against him, but being smaller, that target was automatically lower, and I love throwing to Stubby.
What about on a breaking ball, though, that you want to bounce?
That I just had a feel for where I was going to start it, so it didn't matter where the catcher was, to be honest, on that.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Paul Goldschmidt. Pitch count already 40 plus for Brault here in this 3rd inning. Outfield just about straight away, very deep. Brault, a native of San Diego, originally drafted by the Orioles, 11th round in 2013. Traded to the Pirates in 2015 for Travis Snyder. Then he made his major league debut the following season, did that at Busch Stadium against the Cardinals. 2-2 pitch. Runner at second is Tommy Edman. Shift on the left side of the infield. The 3-2. Goldie hits it the other way. Base hit. Edman will score. And it's 3-0 Cardinals. RBI number 75 for Paul Goldschmidt.
Nice job by Goldie right there. Got deep in the count. Still hit the ball to the right side, though, behind the runner. So just in case it wasn't a hit, he might have been able to get that runner over to third. But he's able to fight that ball off. Stays in, stays through it. Fights it off for a base hit and an RBI.
So the Cardinals have gotten a triple that scored 2 by Sosa. Now the base hit. Run batted in by Paul Goldschmidt. Still nobody out. And here's Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill rips it for a base hit out to left. Runners at first and second, and here comes Nolan Arenado. A double, then back-to-back singles for the Cardinals.
Third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Ball was smoked.
That ball was crushed.
Yep. Here's Arenado, who flied to center first time up. .345 average with runners in scoring position, and now they want to talk it over with Steven Brault. While we have a moment, quick word from Victory Men's Health.
You gave me my youth back, improved strength, muscle mass, and energy.
Thanks to Victory Men's Health, there are more guys feeling better than ever. Join the movement. Visit victorymenshealth.com.
In steps Arenado to face Brault, who is the highest draft choice ever out of Regis University, located in Colorado. Interesting guy. He majored in music performance with a vocal performance emphasis. He has sung the national anthem prior to a Pirates game and performed on 3 separate occasions with the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra.
Wow.
Pretty talented dude. I saw the national anthem. He's good.
Awesome. It's pretty good, cool talent.
Yep. Base hit into right field. Off the bat of Nolan Arenado. They're going to hold up Paul Goldschmidt, and the base is loaded for Yadier Molina.
Well, if I was the pitcher right there, I'm going to throw Arenado away also, because he's going to have to beat me to the opposite field. I don't want to throw anything on that inner half that he can pull to the left side. He just missed a homer his first at bat. Stayed down, stayed through that one. Smoked it. Cardinals are on fire with the bats.
First hit in the game was Yadier Molina. Came around to score on the triple by Sosa. And it's now a 9-game hitting streak after that first inning single by Yadi. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the third.
Well, knowing Yadi might jump this pitch, I'm throwing a first pitch changeup down. With the heater down.
Six grand slams in his career. 2 for 6 in this spot. Bases loaded this season.
No outs yet. He wants to try to get him to ground into a double play. He would gladly trade that run at third for a double play right now.
Softly hit. Brault to the plate and out to first, safe. It looked like Stubby saying, did he juggle it, or? But he was pointing from the coach's box at first for the Cardinals to take a look at it. Was a force play at the plate.
Heads up play by Brault. getting out at home, and then heads up play by the catcher trying to get the double play at first.
The Pirates are saying that Yadi's in the baseline. A lot of things happening here. Yeah, they're also saying that maybe he altered the throw there of Stephen Brault. Take a look at this. He is inside that line, and once you get to where you see the lane of the running lane, you're supposed to be in that. But prior to that, you could run out to the mound if you wanted to, and then safe at first.
Yeah, that seemed a little aggressive where he was right there.
Oh yeah. Wow. Got away with it.
I like it. He understood that's an RBI situation.
Now Dylan Carlson walked and scored. And the first pitch taken down and in for a ball. So another look at the play. You have Yadi, the infield grass there, and really trying to distract Brault. How about Yadi? Then he gets back in the lane, then back out of the lane, knowing that the throw is coming from the catcher.
Smart player.
Yep. Carlson with a grand slam in his career, happened earlier this season in Miami. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Carlson looks like he's feeling for it a little bit. Some of the good pitches that he's getting to hit, he's just fouling off instead of smoking them.
Two strikes, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out, bases loaded. Chance to add to this lead, which is something that you wanted to see from the Cardinals in game 1. They had through 3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, led that ball game 7-1, eventually lost. After the 3rd, they never got a runner to second and only had 1 hit after that inning. So pour on when you get these opportunities.
No question about it. Every run helps. And even from a mojo standpoint, as far as getting guys on there and feeling like you can score when you need to as the game goes on.
Cardinals would get a walk. It was a Tommy Edman hit. They also had a hit batter, but no one advanced past first base after that 3rd. Carlson spoiled it.
Hit it off the end of the bat. You see Carlson checking to see if he broke that, and sometimes bats will crack on the inside of it and you can't see it. If I'm the hitter in that situation, especially with the bases loaded right now, I'm getting a new one just in case. Especially with the maple bats, and when you don't see it, all of a sudden you'll square a ball up, and then the bat breaks, and you don't do the damage that you should have done because there was a crack in it.
Popped up right side, out of play. Do you use ash or do you use maple? What was your preference?
I used both. I started using more maple later in my career. I felt like ash gave me more pop to the opposite field because the ash gives you more flex and it bends more when you swing. So I felt like the balls away, you would get that whip and I would get more distance to left center.
When you break the other ones, man, they can be dangerous too.
Yeah, they can. Flying weapons.
Yep. Bases loaded, 1 out, and a 2-2 pitch to Carlson. Got him. First strikeout for Brault. And it brings in Sosa.
Good fastball by Brault. That 3/4 delivery, it comes out of his hand and looks like it has the tendency to rise. So as a hitter, what you see is it's starting in the strike zone, then riding up to the top of the strike zone, even out of it.
Let's see a lot of emotion from Dylan Carlson, but we saw it there. Upset with that. And now it's Sosa, who's 6 for 12 at PNC Park. Triple that scored 2 back in the 2nd. Matter of fact, 4 of his 15 runs batted in this year have been in this series. 0 for 5 with the bases loaded in his career. And the first pitch off the plate.
I guarantee you Carlson's rooting for him as much as Sosa wants to be successful right now, because when you're in that situation, bases loaded, 1 out, you don't get the job done, you're praying that the guy behind you can pick you up.
Yachty thinking the same thing?
Yep.
Cal Keller, we saw him in game 1 throwing in the bullpen for the Pirates. The 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Outfield straight away, the 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Eleven pitch first inning, 24 in the second, 25 and counting here in the third. Could be a very short night for Brault. The 2-1 pitch. And Sosa hits it out to right center. It's down. They're off to the races. Sosa, another extra base hit. 2 runs have scored. Here comes another. And it's another triple for Edmundo Sosa. Have a game. 2 for 2. 2 triples. And he has driven in 5 of the 6 tonight.
Sosa doing work. That's the swing we were looking for. Staying gap to gap. He gets the fastball out over. We know Brault will use the changeup too. That allows him to stay back, drive that ball right to that 375 sign in right center. Great job for the triple.
The effort there by Chavis comes up short. Nissan drive of the game. And Edmundo Sosa, 2 triples, 5 runs batted in, and we're only in the third. There'll be an intentional walk to Bader to bring in Adam Wainwright. Talked about it a lot. When he gets a chance to play, he has made the most of it, and he plays with a lot of energy. Short, third, second. Fun to watch.
I like this matchup right now. You've heard Waino say before he gets a little ticked off when they intentionally walk the runner, the hitter in front of him. Lefty too. Lefty against right. This is a good matchup for Waino.
Waino hits it up the middle. Base hit. Sosa will score. 7-0 Cardinals. Adam Wainwright makes him pay.
Adam with a great approach, stays up the middle. Brault, who started him off with a changeup in his first at bat, comes back with the same thing. Adam paying attention. You see he stays back. He looked like he's looking for that pitch. He wasn't out front. He wasn't butt sticking out. He was ready for that one.
And Bader, very good base running on a ball that wasn't hit hard or sharply up the middle. He winds up at third. And it's Tommy Edman who began the third inning with a double. Chops it foul. Last Cardinal with 2 triples in a game, Matt Carpenter, back on the 31st of May against the Brewers in 2016, and it's the first time the Cardinals have seen a player get 2 triples in this ballpark in the same game.
Brault's starting to fall into a pattern. As soon as he is in trouble, he's going to that changeup. Edman was right on that one too. He knows he missed one. They're starting to pick up on what he's doing.
Hitting .271 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. .02 hit softly towards third. Hayes, did he get him? He did. Stubby Clapp pointing in to take a look at it. Big inning for the Cardinals, a 5 spot here in the third. It's 7-0.
To
Saturday, Busch Stadium hosts the 16th annual Purina Pooches in the Ballpark Day. Come on downtown, grab a ticket, bring your dog, and a limited number of tickets are on sale now at cardinals.com/pooches. Last Cardinal rookie to have 2 triples in a ball game was the Cardinal Hall of Famer Ray Lankford. So it's been a long time. Cardinals with 8 hits, and they have a 7-0 lead. Waino, as he's apt to do, will not rush himself when he's been at the plate or on the bases. He'll take his time, warm up, catch his breath, get a drink. Smart,
especially in the humidity that they have there in Pittsburgh. You hear him talk about the last time he was there, said he was overheating through those games, and that's when he threw that complete game as a Maddox. And right now, this is the perfect recipe for him to have another excellent game. The Pirates, who are having a really tough season, they jumped on them early like you want to, and you know the Pirates, they don't want to be there. Now they're starting to feel like, well, here we go again, just another loss. As aggressive as they have been, I see that they're going to continue to do that, and I think he knows that. So this could be an interesting night.
It's been interesting to watch this guy get better and better too. Cardinals with 200 or more starts between the ages of 30 and 40. This will be his last start in his 30s tonight. Bob Gibson never pitched into his 40s. Neither did Bob Forsch. Haynes did, and Waino will.
With another RBI single, he's giving himself an early birthday present.
Yeah. And he'll have 7, 8, and 9 in the home half of the third for the Pirates. So he's now at 21 consecutive innings against the Pirates, scoreless. This year, 3-0, .39 in his 3 starts against Pittsburgh. And the last time the Pirates saw him, it was 8 scoreless on Sunday at Busch Stadium.
That sounds like a high school pitcher's numbers.
It's crazy. Yachty sees something out in front of the plate, picks that up, and here we go for the bottom of the third. So tonight for Wainwright and Molina, starting batteries, it's number 299. The all-time leader is Mickey Lolich and Bill Freehan, 324. So let's just say if Waino comes back, we know Yachty will. They stay healthy. They have the chance to set the all-time Major League record in terms of battery mates starting. Another ground ball out. And that's 6 ground ball outs already.
Just 2 more strikes in a 2-pitch at bat.
He hit it on the head. The fact that he throws strikes. You know, he said during 2018, and this is Perez, who's 0 for his last 23. Adam Wainwright was hurt, thought about hanging it up, told me, he said, I had nothing in my arm. Pitches weren't sharp. He was averaging at that time over 18 pitches per inning. And now fast forward to what he's doing tonight. His last start before he turns 40, he needed just 18 pitches in the first 2 innings. 15 were strikes. And here it is, 0-2 on Perez.
As a lefty, I want to be aggressive early because I don't want him to get to the front hip sinker, which he will throw with 2 strikes. That front hip sinker as a lefty, when a righty's throwing to you, is almost near impossible to hit because it could be a 4-seamer, could be the cutter. You're waiting the last second. Even if you guess it, it's just tough to get barrel to it.
The 1-2 pitch doesn't get the call on the outside corner. Record for most consecutive scoreless innings by a Cardinal against the Pirates. That belongs to the late Darryl Kyle. 22 innings. So he's trying to tie that here. That's lifted down the right field line, but foul. So Perez 0 for his last 23 and 0 for 8, by the way, against Adam Wainwright.
What that makes me think of is that the Pirates just don't like curveballs. We know Adam Wainwright has a great Uncle Charlie, and so did Darryl Kyle.
Good point. 2-2 pitch. Ooh, doesn't get that call, which at times has been a strike tonight.
That should have been a strike. That was a great. That's the front hip sinker. As a hitter, it looks like it's going to hit you. You see it come back. He missed that one. That's a strike.
Three-two pitch. And a fly ball down the left field line. O'Neill is there near the sidewall and makes the catch. It's 8 straight to start the game for Adam Wainwright. How come every time I watch Waino pitch and he's doing these things and he takes his time and you watch him kind of close his eyes, deep breath, I think Kevin Costner and For Love of the Game.
Yes.
I really do.
And that's exactly what he's doing. I've talked to him about it. He'll do some interesting things about trying to keep his emotions in check, just like with his hat. Usually he'll keep his head down. He says he only wants to see the sign from Yachty, and he doesn't care who's in the box, and he doesn't want to look at it. He doesn't really want to see who's in the box, so therefore he's just trying to execute that pitch no matter what.
So they have a 4-man bench listed tonight. Polanco no longer with them, and so that is the pitcher Brault hitting, and maybe he could be out of the game, and they go to their bullpen because they're short on their bench. We'll see. 7-0 as we head to the 4th. PNC bumps up to the shores of the Allegheny in Pittsburgh, and they do indeed go to their bullpen. Chevy called to the pen Kyle Keller, and he has been struggling mightily here recently. Last 5 games had 6 innings, 5 earned, a couple of home runs allowed, walked 4. This season, though, pretty stingy against right-handed batters. They're hitting just 191 against them. The Cardinals offense, 7 runs in the first 3 innings for the second time in this series. But as we talked about earlier, it's kind of been a theme with the Cardinals. They do strike early, but can they tack on? And now they're going to have to do it against the bullpen as the lefty Brault, the starter, out 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, walked 2, 1 intentional, struck out 1. And Mundo Sosa, if you just joined us, a pair of triples and has brought in 5 tonight. And the first pitch taken low by Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, you're exactly right, partner. Keep the gas pedal on.
The 1-0 popped up near the line in right and up against the screen, and the catch made by Michael Chavis.
Look a lot more comfortable than Tsugo. You see him here checking out where he's at on the field. Knows exactly, can feel the dirt, knows he's getting close to that wall. Pretty good catch.
First out here in the top of the 4th. And it brings in Tyler O'Neill. Fly to left center and a base hit to left last time up. Breaking ball and a strike. It's been interesting. The Cardinals offense, innings 1 through 3 this year, in runs differential, they're plus 21. From the 4th on, minus 39. So back to the theme of trying to tack on. It's 21st in Major League Baseball. Did not go.
And sometimes that could be a mindset. You come out and you score 7. It's not that you're not trying, but almost you kind of ease up a little bit,
sure,
feeling like you have enough runs.
2-1 pitch. Fouled back. Evens it up at 2-2. Cardinals will wrap up their series tomorrow with the Pirates will be on the air. Early start at 11:30 pregame show. Kwang Hun Kim back in the rotation against the righty Will Crow. And then Monday, all important series with the Cincinnati Reds. Cardinals starting tonight, 4.5 out of that second wild card spot. Reds 71-59. They are at Miami tonight and facing Sandy Alcantara. A 2-2 pitch. Rick, I was looking at the numbers for Alcantara, and you go wins, losses, not great. Playing on a team that, clearly is in a rebuild. But in his last 11 starts, they have scored a total of 10 runs for Sandy. 10. And he was great against the Cardinals earlier this year. Went the distance, and it was a walk-off hit by Yachty that won it.
He's got fantastic stuff. There's no question about that.
That backs up, and the walk. And O'Neill wasn't sure. Was he walking back to the dugout or to first, and he'll take the 1-out walk.
Yeah, he will. What a great at bat. Worked himself back into a hitter's count and then worked the walk. Great job laying off some sliders down in the dirt, which, previous years we've seen him swing at, but he's really made some great adjustments as a hitter.
Cardinals Insider tomorrow. Inside look at the Cardinals Hall of Fame Day just a week ago. David Freese stops by the Insider desk, and a special perspective on the 80s Cards-Mets rivalry. Cardinals Insider at 11 kicks off our coverage of baseball tomorrow here on Bally Sports. So O'Neill is at first, and now Arenado, who is 1 for 2. First pitch fouled back. I think you have to look at the Reds if you're the Cardinals and say, well, things can change in a hurry. It's 1 month ago, Cincinnati was 2 games above 500, 6 back of the Padres in the wild card just a month ago. Well, now the Reds have won 20 of their last 30, and they have a 2-game lead over the Padres for that final spot. Cincinnati just claimed Asdrubal Cabrera off of waivers from Arizona. He'll join them tomorrow. And looking forward to that series beginning Monday night. Lester, Luis Castillo. Game 2, Michaelis, Sonny Gray. And then in Game 3, Jay Happ, Wade Miley. Big series.
Huge series. Injuries, you never know. Mojo, slumps. As you mentioned, stuff happens.
Nothing in 2. The count. Short lead at first by O'Neill. And Arenado gets underneath it. Fly ball to Gamel in left. He'll make the catch. O'Neill will stay put. And that's one that Nolan would love to have back.
He wants that one back. Boy, he knows he missed that one. Got the base hit to right last time, staying on the ball. Just missed it in his first at bat. Did a good job of staying back. He was right on that curveball. He just missed it.
Mentioned it's a 9-game hitting streak now for Molina. 1 for 2 tonight. Had a base hit to center and scored a run. That was hit number 232 in his career against the Pirates. And that passes Hall of Famer Jim Bottomley and Albert Pujols, the all-time Cardinals hits list against the Pittsburgh Pirates by a Cardinal. 1 ball and 1 strike.
They're getting some good swings off of Killer's curveball right now.
Sonny Jim Bottomley, for his very nice disposition, just like you, Hank.
Okay.
And there's a strike. Bottomley drove in 12 one time in a 9-inning game, and that was the record for years until hard-hitting Mark Whitten. 4-home run game in Cincinnati.
Talk about having a day. That's a good month for homers.
Jim Bottomley, by the way, was from Illinois. I was talking with one of the folks that runs the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and they brought him over for a tryout in St. Louis, but the taxi driver couldn't find the ballpark, so the cab fare was $4, and he was broke on a $4 cab ride.
How can you not find the ballpark?
Things have changed. Popped up again. And this is playable for Moran near the Cardinal dugout. Cardinals strand a runner, their 4th of the night. Midway through 4. St. Louis on top. That's September 6th, the Monday. Cardinals and Dodgers. That day, 30,000 fans ages 16 and older take home their very own Victory Blue hooded pullover, courtesy of the Shane Company. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for tickets.
You made me think of something when you talked about the cab driver not being able to find the ballpark. You remember when Brendan Ryan was late in New York? He said he walked out. He missed the bus from the hotel, walked out, got in the cab, said, "Take me to the ballpark." Well, he took him to Yankee Stadium and not to the Mets Stadium.
Oh, I remember. And I didn't believe him.
Me neither.
I also remember when Brendan Ryan in a key game in Cincinnati was late to taking the field with Chris Carpenter on the mound. And Carp was, let's just say, agitated, waiting on Brendan to get to shortstop. We then went to Miami, and we're at the older ballpark, previous ballpark. Here's an 0-1 to Gamble. 0-2. It was Joe Robbie, and they called it, what, Dolphin Stadium. I mean, they had a bunch of names.
Yep.
But Brendan showed up at 9 in the morning for a makeup game that was played at like 1 or 2. 9 in the morning, fully dressed in the clubhouse, ready to go on a Chris Carpenter start that day. You didn't mess with Carp.
No. Well, one time he was dehydrated, and Carp was so mad at him that Brendan was in the shower. So Carp walked in there with a bottle of Gatorade, basically threw it at him. Not threw it at him hard, but tossed it at him. Was like, "You need to start drinking this when you wake up in the morning and you're in the shower. Like, let's go."
Tell you what, one thing Brendan Ryan could do, he could flat out pick it, man.
Yes, he could.
He was a very good defensive player.
Defensive wizard.
And enjoyed a nice career. Cardinals, spent some time with the Yankees, Seattle. Good player.
Yep. Funny guy, too. Good
Yep.
at impersonations.
De Niro all the time.
Should have seen when he would do you.
Oh, is that right? To call him up and find out about that. I didn't hear about that one. The 2-2 coming up to Gamble. Hitless in his last 4 games, 0 for his last 11, but does have 5 walks. Grounded back to Wainwright to start things offensively for the Pirates, and that strikeout number 2. 10 up, 10 down. So Wainwright in the first 3 innings went 9 up, 9 down, needed 29 pitches to do it. And it was only the 4th time, Rick, in his career, and this is start number 352, that he was perfect first time through the order and needed under 30 pitches to do it. Only 4 times.
It might have been under 24 pitches if Welke wouldn't have got tight when he was facing Perez.
Good point. Because he had 2 strikes on him in that at bat.
Yes.
Here's Hayes, who was robbed by his counterpart at third, Nolan Arenado. First time up, the 1-0. Breaking ball and a strike, 1-1. I mean, right there is a great example of an 89-mile-an-hour fastball over the plate, elevated just a bit, but when you're sitting there thinking curve or the cutter, and guys are late.
Yeah, well, you know, what happens is you slow your whole game down based on the pitcher. So even though you can hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball at times, you adjust to the pitchers that's out there.
Held on to by Goldie, and a good play all around.
So that's how you end up getting beat. And you're right, because he's thrown the 70-mile-an-hour curveball to start off a batter, and then all of a sudden the 89 just gets on you.
Got him in the right knee, then almost threw wide, and Goldie just held on.
Great
Nice play.
snag by Goldie. Yeah, you see him switching his feet there to get ready to make that move.
Now it's Reynolds, who's 4 for his last 22 against Adam Wainwright. Cardinals in the 5th. We'll have Carlson, Sosa, Bader coming up. Sosa 2 for 2 with a pair of triples. And that is off the plate for ball 1. It is just fun to watch this guy pitch, man. It's fun. Pitches, he doesn't throw.
It reminds me of Greg Maddux right now. Sinker, cutter, using the edges, front hip sinker. Maddux didn't have as good as a curveball, though. Not even close.
Adam has been blessed with old Uncle Charlie. He's got that. Let's take in just low, 3-0. Three and 1.
Bill Welke, the home plate umpire, seems like he's getting a little bit tighter than he was in the first inning.
A little bit.
We want to see a complete game in under 100 pitches. Open that thing back up. That is nasty. You're looking, as a hitter, you're looking for the fastball. As a left-handed hitter, down and in is a good pitch for you, but all of a sudden that ball just cuts. You see it gets under his hands. He had no chance of hitting that pitch.
From 3-0 to 3-2 and fouled back. Cardinals with 2 runs in the second, 5 more in the third. 8 hits that chased the starter Brault. 3-2. In the air, right field. There is Carlson, and Waino is perfect through 4. Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. 7-0, top of 5. Adam Wainwright has been as sharp as ever, and that's saying a lot with just how well he has pitched this year, and so far perfect through 4. We're in the 5th. It's Carlson, Sosa, and Bader. And the first pitch taken for a strike. So just called back up. Switch hitting utility man Cole Tucker, and takes over for Chavis. I wonder if Chavis hurt himself diving for that ball, and the triple eventually turned into a triple off the bat of Sosa.
He definitely went after it. It looked like he was about 6 feet in the air when he dove.
Out of play. So Carlson walked and scored back in the second, and came up with the bases loaded, 1 out, struck out, but Sosa was able to pick up the triple and score 3, and he's driven in 5 tonight. 1-2 pitch. Out of play. Dylan Carlson playing in game number 116 this year. Last time a Cardinal played in this many games in their age 22 season was Albert Pujols, 2002. And then you have to go back to 1983. It was David Green. So it's been an impressive year, many fronts for Dylan Carlson. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Didn't go. What it tells you, Rick, is that he's only going to get better and better and better. He's only 22, and we forget that.
Absolutely. He's still just figuring himself out, figuring the game out itself, figuring the big leagues out, how guys are trying to attack him, how to get out of slumps when you're not feeling right. All those things he'll get better at over time.
Stays away from that pitch. Sosa on deck, having a conversation with some Pirate fans. Feeling good. Why wouldn't you?
No doubt.
3-2 pitch. And that is out of play.
If he hits a single and a homer, do we almost count it as a cycle still, since it technically was almost a double and a triple?
Can't do it.
He should have stopped. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It was later in the game he would.
The could have been cycle if he just pumped the brakes.
A 3-2 pitch. And Sosa in exclusive company tonight. So we mentioned it. Last to have 2 triples in a game was Carpenter in 16. Last rookie with 2 triples was Ray Langford, and the last Cardinal with 2 triples and drove in 5. You have to go all the way back to 1962 and the captain Kenny Boyer. There's only been 2 Cardinals to have 3 triples in one game. The aforementioned Jim Bottomley and Les Bell. Les Bell played in the 1920s, Bottomley as well. So you get the idea. It doesn't happen very often.
No, it's not easy to do.
Full count on Dylan Carlson. Popped up near the screen, and the catch made by Michael Perez. BJC difference maker tonight, Edmundo Sosa. So in the second inning with 1 out, runners at first and second, a double that scored Molina and Carlson, or rather a triple, excuse me. Then in the third, 2 outs, bases loaded, another triple. Chavis, the diving attempt, couldn't come up with it. 3 runs would score. 2 triples. He's brought in 5, 2 for 2. The BJC Healthcare difference maker.
I love the approach. Staying in that, he was in 3-2 count in that first at bat, and he laces that triple into left center. His next at bat, it's almost the same exact pitch, but you could tell he was trying to stay on it and shoot something the other way. If you're the pitcher right there, you're thinking the exact same thing. He's already beat me to left field. Let me get something out over the plate and see if I can get him out towards the outside part of the plate.
Well, as a starter this year, Sosa's numbers are really good. His 54th start of the year tonight. Above 300, OPS of 821, and not nearly the same, obviously, when he's a sub. 2 for 32. The 1-1, and Sosa hits it out to left. Gamble is there to make the catch. Out number 2 here in the 5th. As Keller took over in the 4th inning.
He just missed that curveball, got it off the end of the bat a little bit. Curveball was hanging over the middle of the plate. And we brought this up last night, but he just seems like he's getting more comfortable. And when I watch him swing, he's using his legs a lot more. He seems like he's into those legs a lot more than when the season first started. And as a result, you're seeing more power come with it.
There's Bader. Grounded out with one out, runner at third, back in the second. And intentionally walked in the third to bring up Wainwright, and then he singled. There's strike one. Well, after tomorrow, the Cardinals will have 33 games left, and 20 of the 33 against teams that are in playoff position. So, in a way, control your own destiny to an extent. 0-1 pitch, upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You'd rather have it that way than the alternative, because you know you can actually do something about it.
And there's a strike. One and two, the count on Bader. 2-2. Two yanked foul.
I like when Bader's feeling the flow at the plate, and he gives you a little shimmy shake when he's getting ready to hit.
The 2-2 pitch, fouled back. I don't think anybody would confuse Bader for having a lack of confidence.
Energy, fun, brings it. I like what he said about his mindset, that he's trying to remember it's a game and he's having fun out there.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Pitch number 36 by Keller, put in play to second baseman Wilmer Defoe, and a 1-2-3. Bottom of 5 rolls in. Moran will lead it off.
All over the Bucs 7-zip. Dakota Hudson had Tommy John surgery September of 2020. He's been working his way back ever since. Today, a big step forward. Dakota making his first rehab start at Palm Beach tonight. Hudson pitched 2 scoreless innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 1 through 24 pitches, 16 strikes. The Cards are hoping if all goes well, we could see Dakota getting some limited work with the Cardinals sometime before the end of the season. Danny, a big step forward for Dakota tonight.
And a big piece, obviously, of the Cardinals of 2022. So first game action since he had Tommy John in September of 2020. Also, the Cardinals, prior to tonight's game, placed left-handed pitcher Andrew Miller on the 10-day injured list. Left foot blister, recalled right-hander Cody Whitley from AAA Memphis. Whitley was 3-0, 3 saves in 12 games for the Redbirds. But right now, you're not thinking about the bullpen. You're thinking about this guy on the mound, Adam Wainwright. Last time he was perfect through 4. May 11th of 2013 against the Rockies. He got 1 out in the 5th, and then Todd Helton broke it up with a single. It was a complete game shutout as Moran fouls it back. Nolan Arenado had a front row seat for that. He was a rookie at that time for the Rockies in that one. Actually had one of the 2 hits against Waino that night.
As fun as it is watching him pitch tonight, it's just as fun watching that pitch count.
Still under 50. And there's the first base hit into center field off the bat of Moran. And who else? Colin Moran, who's now 13 for 27. 3 home runs against the Cardinals at PNC.
Colin Babe Ruth Moran. That's a good piece of hitting. That wasn't even a strike. That ball was off the plate away. Just threw his hands out there for a base hit. So great to hear about Dakota Hudson. I had a friend that was down there at the game today at Palm Beach, and he said he looked really good.
Get that first one under your belt. Coming off of surgery, I'm sure it's been highly anticipated by him and his family, and the mental part of it, the grind of the rehab, and just coming back, getting back in competition. That's a big step forward.
Absolutely, the emotional side of it, and you're still wondering, especially when you get out there in game competition, am I going to feel okay? Is this going to hurt? Everything's a little bit foreign. You're still trying to figure out your release point.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tucker. He's been up and down this season with the Pirates. And before the game, Gregory Polanco, longest tenured Pirate, was let go by Pittsburgh. And Tucker brought up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Curveball of beauty. The 1-2 swing and a miss, struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Adam Wainwright.
Perfect example. You see the slower curveball before that, and then with 2 strikes you see the sharper, shorter one to strike him out.
You talked about it in the open, how he's able to shape it and do different things, and he's done that tonight. Now what are the Reds doing? Jesus Sanchez taking one deep. But Reds come back with 1, but Miami has a lead of 6-1, a 12-hit attack. We'll keep you updated in that game. Defoe with a high fly ball into center, going back. Bader, he's got it near the wall and fires back into the infield. A strong throw on the fly to Goldie. And Moran had to scurry back to first.
It's fun to watch him play defense. There you see the great jump, moving to his left over his shoulder. You see the short steps there. He's knows he's getting close to the wall, timing it so he can do just that, turn around and fire it to first. Just a heads up play, because right when he does that, he didn't even look to see where the runner was, so he knew that the guy, wasn't tagging up and he was halfway, and he was just going to try to sneaking out of that.
And there's a strike to Newman. (12 of 15 now. First pitch strikes for Adam Wainwright. And the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball. Arenado there. Across the diamond. And the Pirates strand runner. They pick up their first hit. Moran, he's left stranded. We head to the 6th. Waino leads it off. Tap. Kwon Kim back into the rotation after the injury to Jack Flaherty. Gave up a career high 4 homers, 5 runs in just 2 2/3. Last time he made a start, that was against Cleveland. That's a while ago. He had won 5 straight prior to that. Then it was to the IL, then working out of the pen, and he'll go tomorrow against Will Crow. 3-7. Kim 6-6. Lefty Anthony Banda is into the ball game for the Pittsburgh Pirates, his 15th appearance, and he'll get Wainwright, Edman, and Goldschmidt. (7-0) our score behind an 8-hit attack. Pirates have just 1 hit. Clean single by Moran back in the 5th inning. Wainwright picked up a RBI single in the 3rd inning. Cardinals batted around that inning. That was his 73rd run batted in his career. So he's one shy of Dizzy Dean, 6th all time for most runs batted in by a Cardinal pitcher. Dean had 74, Waino at 73. The most, if you're wondering, what a shock here, it's Bob Gibson, 144. And I would say that that record is safe with or without the DH coming in next year.
Well, can I count mine as a hitter? Doesn't that count?
Well, I was thinking about that. I guess you'd have to be listed as the pitcher that day.
Good point. You know, I like the matchup for Kim tomorrow. The Pirates being a young team, I think you can pitch to them. You know, everybody in the minor leagues right now, everybody's throwers, everybody's throwing. That's kind of how they came up, just hitting against guys throwing the ball 100 and having no clue where it's going. So you can use the edges of the plate. I think you can do well against them.
How frustrating must it be to be the Pirates for the last decade and a half and seeing Molina and Wainwright dealing again tonight. And by the way, in his career, he's hitting .304 against the Pirates in his career with 9 doubles and 14 runs batted in. Does it all.
Doing everything. It's amazing how sometimes you match up against an organization and you gain confidence over time, but you're just good against them no matter what.
Well, Banda gets the strikeout to begin play here in the 6th inning. Now Tommy Edman is 1 for 3 and a strike. Doubled, 34th double back in the 3rd. Oh, 1 pitch. So 34 doubles, but 10 in the month of August. And the only other player at 10 or more is in the ball game at shortstop for the Pirates, Kevin Newman. 0-2 pitch.
Hang it over the middle of the plate.
Down the left field line, but foul.
There it was. He hung it. Just couldn't keep it fair.
Now in the 8th, Marlins 6-1 over the Reds. Phillies leading the Diamondbacks 7-0. Phillies had 6 back, Cardinals 4.5 back in the wild card. In Philadelphia, they have dropped 11 of 16 since they won a season high 8 straight. Arizona is on pace for 107 losses. And Rick, there's 4 teams on pace to lose 100 or more games. One of them, the Pirates, Rangers, Arizona, and Baltimore. Here's Ke'Bryan Hayes, and safe at first, Tommy Edman. So you got 4 teams that could lose 100 or more, and that's only happened twice in the history of baseball.
It's just not a good product that they're putting out there, and I hope that in the new CBA with the $100 million floor that changes and teams become more competitive across the board.
And clearly safe. I'm with you. I think you have to have more competitive lineups, rosters that you put out there. And how do you do that? Well, part of it is spending money, bringing people in. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Ball scoots away, but Edman stays put. Kia player profile. And it's a closer look at the Cardinal first baseman, and month by month he's gotten better, just like what happens in his career, and he's had a terrific month of August as we play on the 28th. There's a 1-0 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie had an RBI single to right field, picked up his 75th run batted in. That was in the third. San Diego at Los Angeles, the Angels tonight. So the Cardinals 2.5 back of the Padres. The 2-0. San Diego trying to win back-to-back games for the first time since earlier this month. So they'll wrap up a 2-game set with the Angels tonight. Then they'll have 3 with the Diamondbacks. And still left on their schedule, they got 16 games remaining with the Giants and Dodgers combined.
They're going to be in trouble if they don't get it going.
Yep. Look at the shoulder, it looks like, of our home plate umpire, Bill Welke. And he says he's all right. "34 hits in the month for Paul Goldschmidt. Last to do that was Jose Martinez in 2018.
He was fun to watch. Jose Martinez, energy, happy. Maybe Bill Welke will open the strike zone back up now that it just got hit with a foul ball pretty good.
Two pitch. That is a big league pop up left side and still coming down and foul. Two pitch. Ripped fair down into the left field corner. Tommy Edman off to the races. Heading to third. Being waved in. Here comes Tommy. He'll score, and Goldie is driven in a pair tonight. He's up to 76, and it's 8-0 Cardinals.
That ball was laced into the left field corner. Got a ball out over the plate that he could handle and did not miss it. Thinking 2 all the way out of the box.
In scoring position here in the top of the 6th at second base. Here's Tyler O'Neill on base twice with a single and a walk. And a breaking ball drops in. 35th base hit for Paul Goldschmidt here in the month of August.
He's heating up.
In his 37th multi-hit game, 7th in the National League. Oh, 1 pitch. The 1-1. 1-2. Another team to watch would be the Mets. They're 9 back in the wild card. They would have to go on an incredible run to get back in it. And at home, they're trailing 2-1 against the Nationals. Last time that Jacob deGrom threw for New York was back on July 7th. And since then, their starters have an ERA over 5 and only 4 wins. It's been a huge, huge blow to them. Outside corner.
I spoke to Brian Snyder, who's their bench coach, and it doesn't look like DeGrom's going to pitch again this year.
Is that right?
Yep.
September 12th is Sunday. 30,000 fans can support their favorite team, Cardinals. The new trendy long sleeve hooded pullover. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Nice looking pullover. It's a night that the Mets retired Jerry Koosman's number. Only retired 3 numbers of players. They've done some for the managers, but Tom Seaver, Mike Piazza, and Jerry Koosman won the clinching game of the World Series for the Miracle Mets. And that's off the plate to Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you know, I got a chance to play for the Mets, and I also got a chance to wear a number of somebody that I grew up watching. It was my brother's favorite player at the time, but Doc Gooden. So I got a chance to wear that number because it wasn't retired.
16.
Yep. Nice work. Look at you. Steel trap you got over there.
I got to think they're going to retire David Wright's number.
I would think so. The captain.
Yep. Popular player.
If DeGrom stays a Met and he stays healthy, I would think that number's coming off too.
I would agree.
Yeah, not only disappointing for the Mets, but I mean the year that DeGrom was having, I think, you know, everybody who's a baseball fan, that was fun to watch him pitch.
If he stays healthy, could have been Cy Young and MVP.
Yep.
Depending on what happened with the Mets. 2-0 pitch. Changeup. 2-1. The Yankees finally lose 3-2 to the A's today. So their 13-game winning streak comes to a close. They started out play 4 back of Tampa Bay in the American League East. Red Sox win their ball game in 10 over the Indians 5-3. Get a game on New York. 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
I still think the roll call they do for the Yankees when the game starts, when they call everybody's name and they won't stop until you turn around and acknowledge them, is one of the coolest things that any team does for their players.
And it's a lineup that has been rolling. In those 13 games, they had outscored the opposition in those wins combined by 40 runs. Truly the Bronx Bombers right now. 2-2 pitch to Nolan Arenado with a runner at second base. And Nolan hits it down the left field line and foul.
It's going to be fun to see what the Bronx Bombers can do if they make the playoffs against really good pitching.
They've got Garrett Cole, obviously at the top of their rotation, the former Pirate. Roldis Chapman has had his issues in the back end of the games. He did pick up a save last night.
Yeah, he doesn't look good. I watched him pitch, and it was just slider, slider, slider. It didn't look like he had control for anything else.
And the velocity has been down a little bit. Pitch number 27 here of this top of the 6th for the lefty Banda, the former Met. Full count. Struck out Wainwright to start the inning. Infield base hit by Tommy Edman. He scored on the double into the left field corner off the bat of Goldie. Strikeout of O'Neill looking, and now full count on Nolan Arenado. Arenado cranks one out to deep left at the wall and caught. Crashing up against the wall. Gamble. Talked about it in the open, and we talk about it a lot. The curveball of Adam Wainwright. And again, it's been old Uncle Charlie tonight. He's had it rolling. Guys out in front, taking it for strikes, throwing it at any point in the count. It's a big 12-6 And let's bring in Rick Ankiel. Just simply the key, and you had a tremendous curveball. What is the key to that curveball?
The key to the curveball is making sure that the middle finger, the middle tip of your finger, is the last thing the ball comes off of. So you just want to make sure that you're feeling that ball right here on that seam. That's why sometimes you'll see Adam, he's got his finger off of it. You'll see some guys throw a knuckle curveball. That's all because it's all about the pressure of this finger here. It's the last thing that touches the ball once it comes off, and that's how you can create spin, more spin. For me, I wanted to feel this knuckle on this seam. So I not only did I feel this fingertip, but when I gripped it, I wanted to feel this knuckle. That gave me confidence that I had, you know, a good grip on it. And then it's like you're pulling down a lampshade. So once you get out front, pretend that you're pulling down a lampshade and snap it off.
How about when he sometimes has that finger up? And I guess that really doesn't matter, does it, with that curveball?
No, it doesn't. It's like I said, it's all about the middle finger and the pressure off of the fingertip. You know, so it doesn't matter if the index finger is off the ball or on it, because like I said, the last thing that the ball comes off of is this middle finger right here. So once you get out front, just pretend you're pulling down the lampshade. You'll see some guys, they'll finish actually up in here versus because they're pulling down so hard here that, you know, it almost creates this versus finishing down low.
The cutter is yanked foul. He has thrown now 22 curves, and 17 of those have been strikes. He's thrown it about 40% of the time, which is what he does, generally speaking, coming into this start. He's got such great confidence in that pitch. It's amazing. Who taught you the curve?
Bill Olson. I was in the USA Junior Olympic trials when I was 16. His son was Greg Olson, who pitched for Toronto.
Sure.
He had a hammer. And I had an okay curveball, and once I worked with Bill, I went back for my junior and senior season of my high school career with a big league curveball. He took it from just this real roly-doly thing to, you know, a big league pitch.
Swing and a miss. There's that curveball, and the strikeout for Wainwright. That's number 4 tonight. Hasn't walked a man, and he's allowed just 1 hit.
See the index finger off of it on that one. That's the 2-strike curveball, sharp and down break. He starts right at his belt and then ends up on the dirt.
Pinch hitter will be Anthony Alford for Banda. And the fastball is lined to short. There's Sosa.
Thank you for the 1 pitch out.
Yes, sir. This year you can get 100% MLB verified tickets easier than ever. StubHub, the official partner of the Cardinals. Widest selection of seats and prices. You can even look up your seat view before you purchase, so you know your view of the field. Tickets available on StubHub up until the first pitch. Very, very efficient tonight. Pitch number 62 off the end of the bat, had him out in front. There's strike 1 on Ben Gamble, who's 0 for 2, top of the lineup. He is grounded out. Back to Wainwright, struck out. Wainwright with 64 strikeouts this year on that curveball. That's 5th most in all of baseball. It tails away, nothing in 2, and Gamble's thinking, uh-oh, what's coming next?
Keep him guessing. I think I'd go ahead and run that sinker back away, because I know he's trying to protect for the front hip sinker.
And a fly ball, base hit, left center on an 0-2 pitch. Gamble will stop at first base as the throw went to the bag, literally hit the second base bag and gets away. What are the odds of that?
That is unlucky. Well, he tried to run that front hip sinker where it starts at the front hip of the hitter and then runs back to the corner of the plate, but just threw it, and it got a lot of plate. Missed the spot.
Could be an error on Bader, and that's a tough error.
That's a really tough error.
So puts a man in scoring position, and the first base runner for the Pirates in scoring position tonight. It comes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Brian Hayes 0 for 2. And a foul tip. Strike one.
Well, we know about Hayes' superior defense, but they really believe he has the tools to develop into the middle of an order force in the lineup. He has tremendous bat speed. They love his makeup, thinks he has unbelievable leadership skills in the makeup and maturity. Comes from a lineage of baseball. His father was a Major League Baseball player, so he obviously knows the game, but they really love this kid.
Youngest of Charlie Hayes' kids. And a fly ball into center. Bader diving, comes up with it. What a catch. Harrison Bader takes the hit and RBI away. Keeps the Pirates off the board. Make an error, make a great play.
Gotta love it.
Sports Midwest brought to you by Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer close to home. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Harrison Bader preserves the shutout. The great catch to end home half of the sixth. Luis Oviedo, our Chevy, called to the pen. And he'll be the fourth pitcher used by the Pirates tonight. Brault went 3, Keller 2, Banda 1, and now Oviedo. Remember in this last time, Adam Wainwright, the 88 pitches went the distance. And it was Harrison Bader who made a couple of key plays late to keep the Pirates off the board, and he does it again tonight.
That was a phenomenal catch, and not only did he preserve the shutout, but he preserved the Maddox S. Wainwright at 67 pitches through 6.
Gamble moves to right field. We're going to get you caught up on some of the changes here for the Pirates. Hayes is out of the game. That's hit out of play. Cole Tucker playing short. Newman goes to second. Alford stays in the game at left field. And Wilmer Defoe goes from second to third. Put in play to short. Tucker up with it. And the out. This is our Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Well, if you're the Pirates, you've got 82 losses, could be 83 after tonight. You're not going anywhere, so you might as well find out if Cole Tucker can play right. Then go to short. Gamble going from left to right. Alford at left. Defoe going from second to third. I mean, you're going to try to find out about what you have moving forward.
Yeah, it's time for them to start building around some of these young guys, no doubt.
And seeing if they can play some of these positions at this level. Spring training's one thing, but doing it in a major league game, and I don't care if it's at the end of August or September, that's when you do try to find out about some of these players. 2 balls and no strikes.
Carlson working himself into a good hitter's count. This is big. This is a big at bat for him for this reason. It's just be good to see him get some confidence, get some mojo going. They get him going again. The Cardinals going to have a fun stretch run here.
You can see he's been really frustrated with some of his swings tonight. Probably feels those are, balls that normally he drives.
And that's how, it is frustrating as a hitter because let's say it's 2-0. You know he's looking for a fastball, and he got one out over the plate, but he just wasn't able to keep it fair. So you know you're just a little bit off, but it only takes a little, a base hit here or there to get the confidence going.
2-1 pitch. 3-1. Adam Wainwright, by the way, had 66 pitches through 6 innings. So could he go the distance tonight? Well, the pitch count would suggest absolutely. 3-1. And Carlson draws a 1-out walk. Edmundo Sosa providing a spark when he gets a chance to play in terms of starting, and a lot of that is due to the fact that he's also fast. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. He's got 2 triples tonight, and he's driven in 5 of the 8.
That boy can run. It's sneaky fast to me. For some reason, it just doesn't look like, I mean, he looked like he's running fast, but it doesn't look like he's a burner. But obviously, the analytics, he is.
So on that second triple, looking back after the diving attempt by Chavis. 1 out, runner at first. And Sosa to Tucker. And not able to turn 2 as Newman couldn't get it in the transition out of the glove. That'll extend the inning to Bader. That was tailor-made.
Yeah, once you bobble it, you got no chance with his speed running first.
Bader bounced back to the pitcher with the runner at third and 1 out. Intentionally passed to get to Adam Wainwright, who then singled with 2 runners on. That brought in a run. There's a wild pitch. And Sosa on his way to second base. And struck out in the 6th inning. Overcooked it.
Yeah, he just jerked that one.
So 2 outs and a runner at second for Harrison Bader. Cardinals have had 36 foul balls tonight, and that is a lot. And what you're doing is that you're extending at bats. Many of those times it's been with 2 strikes. So you're making these guys throw a lot of extra pitches. It's little things like that that add up in a game, even when it's 8-0 and you've out hit them 10-2.
That's grinding it out.
Yep.
Yep.
One ball and 1 strike on Bader. Kept in front by Perez. Marlins hold on and they beat the Reds. Sandy Alcantara 8-12 now. Gutierrez took the loss. He's been pitching very well for the Reds. And so if the Cardinals can win, they'd be 3.5 back going into the ball game tomorrow. Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 7-0, so they'll be 5 back. And the Padres could pull within 1 with a win tonight. 3-1 pitch. With the breaking ball again taken upstairs, and the second walk in the inning by Oviedo. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Convenient access to your money anywhere and award-winning support anytime. Great Southern Bank, rated the #1 bank in America by our customers according to Forbes.
Runners at first and second for Adam Wainwright. First pitch, breaking ball taken low, so he's seeing changeups, he's seeing breaking balls. They respect Adam Wainwright, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Grounded to short, single to center, picked up a run batted in, his second of the year, and struck out swinging in inning number 6. Fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He needs another base hit so he can even out the total bases again, as much as he's given up.
Ball gets away. Runners advance to second and third.
You hear the Pittsburgh fan yelling at him, hey, it's the pitcher, don't ever think it. I kind of agree. I mean, you start him off with a curveball. Like you mentioned, he started off with 2 changeups the other at bats. But once you miss with the curveball, there's nowhere else to go. You know you're going to get a fastball then.
Should get a fastball here too. 3 balls and 1 strike.
You got to give him the green light.
And the bases are loaded. He walks Adam Wainwright. Three walks in the inning, and the bases loaded for Tommy Edman. He's had a big series tonight. 2 hits, a double, a single, 2 runs scored. Inning started, Molina grounded out to short. Carlson walked, and then really a tailor-made double play. As it went to short, Tucker flipped it to Newman. Newman couldn't get it out of the glove. Should have been out of the inning, and even with the speed of Sosa, I think they would have gotten 2. And now back-to-back walks, Bader and Wainwright, and they're all loaded up for Tommy Edman. Does have a grand slam in his career. 6 for 13 in this spot. That's a .462 average with 17 runs batted in. And the first pitch taken for a strike. Trying to add on more. 8-0 our score here in the Cardinals half of the 7th. The 0-1. 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Stays alive.
I would keep trying to attack Edman up in the zone. You've seen him chase that pitch up there quite a bit when he gets to 2 strikes. But the curveball, I think that's just breaking right into his barrel. If he just happens to hang one, Tommy's going to crush it.
It is 8th home run from the other side of the plate in last night's game, and the 0-2 pitch to Edman. There was. That was that breaking ball.
He's hung quite a few of them this inning. So if I'm the catcher, I'm looking at that thinking, you know what, let me just stick with the fastball. He hasn't had a sharp breaking ball so far.
Oh-2 pitch. Spoiled again. Pitch number 25 of the inning from this right-hander. We've been trying to elevate, see if he would chase, hasn't done it.
I try to bust him up and in. If I make the perfect pitch perfect, I think I'm going to get him out. If I happen to fly open a little bit, I'm still going to have the ball up in the zone, but it'll be out over the plate, which is still a good pitch.
Tommy grounds it right side, race to the bag, and safe at first, and a run will score to make it 9-0. The speed of Tommy Edman. And a 3-hit night. No challenge from the Pirates. So Tommy Edman has brought in 6 in this series, and his hustle down the line creates a 9-0 lead for the Cardinals. And they're all loaded up for Paul Goldschmidt. And the first pitch just off the plate for ball. Nobody throwing in the Pirates bullpen. Oviedo approaching about half of what Wainwright has thrown, doing that in 1 inning. Waino is under 70 pitches. 1 ball, 1 strike. Goldie has driven in 2 tonight, a single and a double. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a good pitch sequence. Throwing the slider that starts middle and then it breaks away, and then you just start that fastball all the way away to the hitter. If it was the breaking ball, you're going to take it. That's just good sequencing.
Shift on the left side, inside. 3-1. Tommy Edman from home to first. That was 4.13 feet per second. 5th fastest sprint for him this year. That's in the 99th percentile in baseball.
He was smelling that RBI, baby.
You got it. 3-1 pitch. And a full count. Runners off with the next pitch.
Nobody up in the bullpen. They're going to let Oviedo ride this one out.
Yep. Sparse crowd, and if he walks him, you're going to hear the boos. "3-2." Out of play.
Throw that fastball again, and this ball is going to go a long way.
Goldie does have an opposite field splash hit into the Allegheny. Only right-handed hitter to do that.
If he does that again, I'll buy you dinner.
3-2 pitch. Here it comes. And he walked him. 4 walks in the inning. Goldschmidt picks up the RBI. And he's now up to 77. The batter will be Tyler O'Neill. After the bases loaded walk, O'Neill with a base hit to left field. He has walked, he has struck out, and flied to shallow center. Lefty Sam Howard begins to throw in the Pittsburgh bullpen.
I like the Cardinals adding on here, but selfishly, I want to get Wainwright off the bases to get him in there to get a little bit of rest to get pitching.
Wainwright now at third base. And the pitch to O'Neill. And that was called a ball. It looked like Perez may have been crossed up, and that didn't help him because he stabbed at it.
Just young mistakes, not covering first right away. A little cross up there. Going through the growing pains.
It's the 6th time the Cardinals have scored 10 or more runs in a ball game. And the first time since the 25th of July. The 2-0. 2-1.
As a hitter, I'm looking out over. My approach is going to right center. That way I stay on the curveball.
Evens it up at 2-2. Cardinals picked up 2 runs in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd, 1 in the 6th, and 2 more here in the 7th. They have 11 hits. They've out-hit the Pirates 11-2. And looking for more here in the top of the 7th with Tyler O'Neill and the bases loaded. Got the curveball and swung through it, and a strikeout. Time to stretch on this Saturday night. It's 10-0. Of the game as we move to home half of the 7th. There's his line. 6 innings, 2 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts at 67 pitches tonight through 6. And compare that to when he threw the Maddox the other day. He was at 62 through 6. And his numbers against the Pirates are just ridiculous right now. 25 scoreless innings against Pittsburgh. Longest by any Cardinal against any opponent since 1974. So 25 inning active scoreless streak. His curveball has been an elite pitch again. He's thrown 24 of them tonight and 35% of the time. So he's had it in there for 80% for strikes.
He's been super effective. As you mentioned, 67 pitches, 52 strikes. He's been filling the strike zone up. The curveball's been fantastic. I think normally you might see some changes here with the way the defenses line up, giving some guys a rest with the 10-0 lead. But with Adam with 67 pitches working on a complete game, I think the defense stays the way it is.
You know, to go a little bit further into the curveball, so the strike percentage with that pitch is now over 70% for the year. For the year. And pitch tracking data became available in 2009. And there's only been 2 pitchers that have thrown a curveball at least as much as Wainwright, as much as he's doing this, which is a ton, and thrown it for a strike over 70% of the time. It's just not easy to do. And the 2 guys that have done that, what Wainwright is doing this year, Corey Kluber in Cleveland, that was in 2017, and he won the Cy Young that year. And the other is the late Jose Fernandez, Miami, and that was the year in 2013 he won the Rookie of the Year. So what you're seeing with this curveball, folks, is just not something you see every day. It's spectacular.
And that just tells you how good it is to be able to throw it for strikes that much and not give up much damage at all on it. Says something.
Here is Reynolds, and that pitch taken for a ball. And a rare first pitch miss. 17 for 21 first pitch strikes tonight.
You know, the thing with a good curveball too is unless it ends up middle, you rarely give up big hits on it. You just don't. So I mean, if you throw a quality strike with it, it just doesn't get hit for damage.
He was on the bases. That was almost a half inning for the Cardinals. So we'll see if Wainwright can regroup here. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch number 70. 2-1.
Thank you.
Reynolds now 0 for 2 and 4 for 24 in his career against Waino. Whacked into the gap in right center, and Reynolds has the Pirates' 3rd hit tonight. Well, Jim Hayes, what do you have on old Uncle Charlie?
Yeah, what we're seeing from Waino tonight is a lot like what we saw in his last start at PNC with the 88 pitch complete game. I asked Mike Schilt about it today, and Schilt said the best description of what Waino was doing in his last start he got from Chad Blair, the team's video guy. He said Waino was throwing so free and easy that it looked like Waino was just playing catch. Danny, I think we're seeing some of that tonight from Adam Wainwright. It's vintage Waino.
And the next start will be number 300 between Adam and Yadier Molina. Here's Colin Moran, who had the first hit. And that came with a perfect game on the line back in the 5th. But, you know, those two, Rick, too, they just know each other so well. And Adam was saying to me the other day, it's not that he doesn't shake off Yadi. He'll do that all the time. He said it's about having the conviction in what to throw, but more times than not, they're on the same page.
Gotta imagine they're reading each other's minds half the time.
Moran hits it down the right field line. Foul.
He almost kept that fair.
One for two tonight. Cardinals with a shift on the infield on the right side. Good example of what we were talking about earlier. What are you going to do with that pitch?
Yep.
And rare that guys are able to keep that fair and do anything with it.
Very hard. And on that last shot of the foul ball that he hit, you seen Dylan Carlson about 20 feet away from the fence, and that's because of that chain link fence. So he knows it might go one direction or the other, giving himself room to be able to make an adjustment quickly.
Go to a new ballpark. Did you take balls off the wall or throw balls off the wall?
Always during, go out there during BP, check out the wall, check out how many steps I thought I would have once I hit dirt if I was going to be running back towards the wall. And if there's certain angles that you're not used to, you just take a ball and throw it off of it and see which way it starts to go. And I know Willie McGee down there is taking those guys out there and doing that. He's big on making sure those guys are able to anticipate and have an idea of what's going to happen. And as we've seen yesterday, it can be the difference in a game.
Yeah. One ball and two strikes. Off the plate, held up. And the 2-2 to Colin Moran. Out of play.
I get a little nervous when I see the ball come out of Waino's hand, and I know it's going to end up somewhere towards the middle of the plate with this guy hitting.
He has been the guy that's given the Cardinals fits this year. Swing and a miss. Took something off a breaking ball. That's the other thing, the speeds of which he is throwing that curveball to. Strikeout number 5.
Well, the pitch before was the cutter that basically was at the same height, and that's what sets this up, because out of his hand it looks like it's going to be that cutter or a fastball that's going to be down there by the knees. You go to swing at it and all of a sudden it breaks and you're nowhere near it.
So one out, runner at second. Pittsburgh 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position tonight. And it's Cole Tucker, came in right field for Chavis after he left with discomfort, then moved from right field to shortstop. Struck out on a curveball back in the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Now realize the pitch count. Next pitch will be 80 for Adam Wainwright. It's a hot, muggy night. 10-run lead. He has been going so deep into games. If you're Mike Schilt, is that conversation being had right now to say, hey, we can probably get through this game, we would like to think, with a 10-run lead and take him out? And I understand it's only, he may have crossed up Yachty there, and I understand it's only 2 innings, but you know, you're talking about maybe cutting down on the pitch count and get him ready for his next start.
I think it's definitely a conversation that you need to have, and I would think that they'd probably go to Adam and ask him, but we know that you're coming down this last stretch run, and you know, you want to save as many bullets as you can.
I think Yachty was crossed up on the last pitch, kind of glared back at Adam Wainwright as if to say, what was that? And Yachty looking down at his forearm, and I don't think he has Waino. I don't think he's got the card, because Adam kind of went back to his back pocket as if to reach in and look at it, and I don't think he had it.
Probably put his batting gloves in there, and when he pulled them out after hitting, out came the card.
Also, there hasn't been anybody at second base. Maybe he's thinking, I don't need this thing.
Well, you can see just what base runners do, though. The pitch before that, you seen him look back to make the runner stop, and then he kind of hung the curveball, and then he got crossed up.
Nobody throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. 3 balls and a strike. Tucker looking for his first base hit with a runner in scoring position this year. 0 for 6. 3-1 pitch. Out of play, full count.
Let me ask you this. With Waino not committing to whether he's pitching again next year or not, if you're the manager, does that become part of the conversation of whether you let him finish this game tonight or not?
I don't think it has any bearing on it.
Okay. It does for me a little bit, because if this could possibly be his last year, I almost want to give him the respect of, you got a complete game shutout going, I might let you go.
I get that, and then I'd counter it by saying, you know what, we could be 3.5 out tomorrow, and I'm going to try to save you as much as I can and bank in some innings if we can before it's all said and done. And if we get to the playoffs, you're our guy, you're our horse.
It's a great point.
You know, now if he had come out and said this is it and I got a month to go, then it's maybe a different conversation. At least that'd be my viewpoint. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Brown and Brown.
Brown and Brown is on the road too. So if you're injured in a car crash or hurt on the job, call us for free. In Missouri, dial all 3s. In Illinois, dial all 8s.
Brings in Defoe, who is fly to deep center and called out on strikes. Adam has labored a little bit in this inning. Hasn't quite been as sharp. Leadoff double, then a strikeout, and has allowed his first walk of the night. Off the plate, and ball 1. You got to wonder if that nearly half-hour half inning plays into that.
Absolutely. On the bases for all of that.
And he'd love a ground ball here in turn 2 and head to the 8th. The 1-0 pitch. Defoe pulls it. Foul. TJ McFarland start to throw in the St. Louis bullpen. Curveball and a beauty. 1-2. McFarland came in game 1 with runners at first and third. Relief of Michaelis, and got a ground ball and a double play. Got that very good sinker and gets a lot of ground balls. Two balls and two strikes. Pitch number 88 from Adam Wainwright. Here it comes to Defoe. Popped up, infield fly. Sosa.
Well, I think it's fair to wonder, why you would get McFarland up, but giving up 8 runs in 1 inning the other day, I don't think that you're not going to take any chances.
Yeah, and the fact that you have runners on and he gets that ground ball, and all of a sudden it could be one pitch and you're heading back to the dugout. Here's Newman. Twice he has grounded out to third, 0 for 2. Yachty frames it up for strike 1. Cardinals can hold on. It would be win number 13 for Adam Wainwright. He'd go to 13-7 and drop his ERA below 3. I mean, anytime you're 3 or below in 2021, pretty good.
Really good.
1 ball and 1 strike. Last 5 pitchers, age 39 seasons only, 25 starts, ERA of 3.10 or better. It's guys that threw knuckleballs. Joe Niekro, Phil Niekro, Gaylord Perry. He threw something else on the ball. Adam Wainwright on that list. I mean, it's few and far between.
That was a pretty good looking cutter, that last pitch.
The 2-1 pitch by Waino. Tails back up, popped up right side, and out of play. Mentioned the Reds lost tonight against Miami. Sandy Alcantara struck out 12. With a win, the Cardinals go to 3.5 back. Popped up. So Wainwright tonight is going to give the Cardinals 7 shutout innings. 10-0 as we head to the 8th. Tonight, but as you see, plenty of offense up and down the lineup. Highlighted by Edmundo Sosa, a pair of triples. And he's driven in 5 of the 10 for St. Louis. Cardinals have 11 hits. They've out-hit the Pirates 11-3. So Sosa part of the story, and Ricky Ankiel the other part. Again, the pitching of Adam Wainwright.
Unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic today. That was his toughest inning so far, but he was really efficient. Did great. Still in there for all we know, but you do have Junior Fernandez up in the bullpen right now.
It's 26 straight scoreless innings against the Pirates, and counting now for Adam Wainwright. Incredible. New pitcher is Howard, the lefty. He'll get Arenado, Molina, and Carlson here in the 8th inning. So the only spot without a base hit, Dylan Carlson. He is due up in this inning. Bader walked a couple of times, Carlson as well. And here is Jose Rondon. He'll pinch hit for Nolan Arenado. That's going to be it for Waino. A chance at win. Lucky number 13. It's a 48th time in Wainwright's career he's thrown 7 or more innings of shutout baseball. 5th time he's done it this season. That's the most in a season since 2014. He's going to finish his night with 93 pitches, and over 70% of them were strikes. It's the 7th game this year Adam Wainwright has had a strike percentage above 70. And that's the most he has had. And here he is, 39. That's the most in any season he has had. Incredible.
It's impressive. And it's magnified too because you just don't see guys pitch anymore.
No. There's a strike, 1-1. He'll be lined up against the Brewers next time out on the road against Milwaukee. Good changeup. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals will wrap up the series tomorrow, then 3 with Cincinnati. They'll have an off day Thursday and a weekend 3-game series with Milwaukee. Come home. It'll be 4 with the Dodgers and 3 against the Reds. Upstairs for a ball, 2-2. So after this road trip, there's only 2 trips left. You got a 3-gamer against the Mets, come back home, and then they'll be on the road for 8 with 4 against Milwaukee, 4 against the Cubs.
Bring the action.
Should be fun.
Should be fun.
The 2-2 pitch to Jose Rondon, pinch hitting for Nolan Arenado. Arenado tonight went 1 for 4. And he was busy early on. A lot of quick outs in the ballgame with ground balls by Adam Wainwright. First time through the lineup, they did not hit the ball out of the infield. They didn't hit the ball out of the infield until 2 outs in the 4th, and that was a fly ball to right. And Waino was perfect through 4 and then gave up a leadoff base hit in the 5th inning.
To none other than Babe Ruth. Moran.
It's been a while since the Pirates have been able to have the services of Howard. He was on the IL. He had a right oblique strain. Been gone for almost 2 months.
That's a tough injury for a player, hitter or pitcher.
The 3-2 pitch and a walk. Cardinals received 4 walks last inning and a leadoff walk to start the 8th. Cardinals host the Reds weekend of September 10th through the 12th. Great giveaways all weekend long, and Friday night 30,000 fans. This is always a popular giveaway. The Cardinals hockey sweater courtesy of Bally Sports Midwest. Cardinals.com/promotions. That's the 8th walk the Cardinals have received tonight. Andrew Kisner will pinch hit for Yadier Molina. Yadi picked up a base hit in the 2nd inning, extended his hitting streak to 9. So a chance here for Kisner. And strike 1. Wainwright tonight, 15th time. It's been primarily with Yadi behind the plate, of going 7 or more innings. 15 times. That's second only to the Phillies' Zach Wheeler, who is at 16.
I like Kisner swinging at that first pitch fastball right there. Pinch hitting. Got to get after it. You don't want to get behind in the count when you've been sitting on the bench all night.
It's a tough go for Andrew with all the time that's being put in by Molina behind the plate and down the stretch. Every game's so important. If Yadi is fresh enough and healthy enough, he's going to play. 1-1. 1-2. So the 8 walks tonight, that ties a season high for the Cardinals. 4th time. They have drawn 8 walks in a game. 2nd time it's happened against the Pirates. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kisner. So if the Cardinals take this game tonight, looking at potentially 3 of 4 with Kim on the mound tomorrow. 11:30 will come your way. Junior Fernandez just standing now on the bullpen mound. He'll come in for the bottom of the 8th, and the 1-2 pitch to Kisner. The first out here in the top of the 8th. One out, runner at first, and Dylan Carlson. 2 walks tonight and a run scored.
The 2 walks is a good sign. He's up there searching for it a little bit, trying to find it. But when you're adding some walks in there, that's a really good sign. It means he's seeing the ball better.
So Adam Wainwright this year against the Pirates, mentioned the consecutive scoreless innings, but 30 innings, 1 run allowed.
Pirates kryptonite.
A 1 pitch to Dylan Carlson. 0-2. So Wainwright will go into his next start at the age of 40 with an ERA below 3. 2.97 with the 7 scoreless tonight. Dylan Carlson with a drive into deep left field. Alford back off his glove into the seats and a 2-run homer. Dylan Carlson with home run number 13. Alford had it, lost it, and it's 12-0.
Well, Perez, the catcher, didn't. He wanted to go fastball in, then went slider. The pitcher shook him off, called a fastball away. You could tell the catcher wasn't happy with that choice of pitches. He ended up throwing the ball down the middle. As you mentioned, Alford had it. He almost made that great play with that small fence out there, and it just bounced out of his glove for the homer.
I think Dylan thought that this was caught, and so did Alford, looking into his glove, and he's like, okay, is it caught? Ah, shoot. Heading back to the dugout. Wait a minute, it's a home run.
Just kidding. I'm back, baby. Those are good at bats. The 2 walks, he gets 0-2 count there, gets a fastball he can handle, gets barrel to it.
So Dylan Carlson, 13 homers here in his rookie season. On base 3 times tonight. And now it's Sosa, another rookie that's had a big night for the Cardinals. 2 triples. He's driven in 5. 12-0 Cardinals.
Talk about an up and down emotional roller coaster.
Those are the kind, if you're an outfielder, man, you're dreaming of those.
Ugh. You visualize that every night when you go to bed, making that catch.
The 1-1. We talked about it. It's a fence that is lower, a wall that's lower specifically for that type of play. The 2-1 pitch now to Edmundo Sosa.
As an outfielder defensively, robbing a home run is one of the coolest things you can do, period.
Better hitting or robbing one?
Well, hitting one, you know, you start looking at your bank account, right? Because once the homers go in, they don't come out. But Robin one is just cool.
Up the middle and a base hit for Sosa. And a 3-hit night. Well, he's making a case to play every day, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Love the approach all day. Left center, right center, up the middle. Stay right there, bud.
So the only spot without a base hit is Bader, but he's been on base twice, a couple of walks, one intentional, and scored a run back in the 7th.
Are you calling a hit?
Base hit to right.
I like it.
Going to try to stay on it with a lefty.
Yep.
Take it to right field. Doesn't do that all that much. He sells out, especially with left-handed pitching. Sosa, his 5th 3-hit game of the year.
Trying to go to the trees.
Lars Nootbaar has moved to the on-deck circle. 0-2 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Cole Tucker wants it and has it.
I got it. I got it. No, you take it.
Almost turned into that.
Yep.
For the Cardinals, number 68, Lars.
There's Lars Nootbaar, who is homered at this ballpark.
Lars Nootbaar.
Well, long night for the Pirates here at home. He's shut down by Adam Wainwright, now trailing 12-0, and here is Nootbaar. A lefty-lefty matchup. These are the kind of things, though, that you look at if you're a manager. How does he fare in a pinch hitting role like this against a lefty? It's a base hit, and you love seeing it. And Nootbaar with a little bloop into right, and his speed winds up at second base.
Yeah, you gotta love the hustle. Liked it bad. He got up there ready to hit. Looked like he was looking for a fastball. He got a curveball, but it's hanging in the middle of the plate. So almost stayed back just enough to crush that, but he got enough of it to get the base hit.
Did some of the lights go out? Yeah.
I couldn't tell if that was in our studio or on the TV.
I was saying the same thing. We, you know, for folks that don't know, we're in St. Louis calling it off of monitors, and there are times in our studios where the lights do go out, and I thought, well, maybe that's the studio, but that was at the ballpark in Pittsburgh. And here's Tommy Edman. Well, Tommy with 3 more hits tonight and another double. He's got 34 on the year to lead the National League. Hit down the right field line, pretty well hit, and into the corner and just foul.
Oh. Just missed a homer or another double.
Pitch taken high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tommy Edman fly to right. Doubled into the left field corner, left center, and scored. That was in the 3rd. Cardinals batted around that inning. Infield hit in the 6th. Scored a run. Base hit in the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I don't think Howard has much to get Edman out. He just got, he almost got to that fastball away. That slider, it's not a very sharp slider. It's breaking right into his barrel, and he keeps shaking off the fastball in. He doesn't seem like he wants to throw it in there. He just doesn't trust it.
This will be pitch number 29. And the 2-2. Edman rips it to 3rd. It's knocked down. A run will score. 13-0 Cardinals. It's a big night again for Tommy Edman. Picks up another run batted in and 4 hits on the night.
103 mile an hour off the bat. He smoked that slider, ended up over the plate, and he crushed it.
2nd career 4-hit night for Tommy Edman. Matt Carpenter will pinch hit for Paul Goldschmidt. Sosa, Carlson, Nootbaar tonight. The 3 rookies have gone 5 for 9. 13 total bases. For Tommy Edman, a 4-hit night. 2nd time he's done that. The other time was May 1st of this year at PNC. 2 outs and 2 on. Up and in to Carpenter. Left on the bench for St. Louis. It's Paul DeYoung.
I'm really surprised he started out with a slider right there. He gave up a base hit to Nootbaar on the slider. Then he just gave up a base hit to Edman on the slider, and they just haven't been very good. And the fact Matt Carpenter takes a lot of fastballs, I would have just went with a fastball away.
1-0 pitch.
Went back to it again.
Yep. Carpenter still looking for that elusive 300th double.
It just doesn't have a sharp break for him tonight. And if Carp's looking for a fastball and he gets that slider because it's not breaking that sharp, he can do some damage with it.
The 1-1. Hit out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carpenter is a pinch hitter this year. 7 for 45. Couple of home runs. Pair of doubles. And Fernandez just standing out there waiting. The 1-2 put in play. No, pulled foul by Carpenter. First game of the series, Cardinals scored 7 runs in the first 3 innings. Didn't score the rest of the night. Tonight, 7 runs in the first 3 innings. And they've tacked on 6 more. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
As a left-handed hitter, I'm not even concerned about the slider that he's featuring tonight. So I'm going up there looking for a fastball down the middle because I know if I get the slider, I'm going to be able to adjust to it.
It's a long outing for Howard. Now his 35th pitch. Check swing, and he went. Strikeout of Carpenter. Cardinals add 3 more to their lead, and it's a 13-0 St. Louis lead.
in St. Louis. Cardinals Live post-game show follows tonight's telecast from Pittsburgh. Brad Thompson will join me to break it down. Another night, another brilliant outing by Adam Wainwright. We'll break it down. Plus, Edmundo Sosa powering the offense from Pittsburgh tonight. Plenty of post-game reaction from the Steel City as well as we head back over to Danny and Rick.
All right, Erica, thank you. I know Brad and Erica fired up for the post-game show. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, Waino in the offense.
I mean, Erica and Brad have been locked in with every pitch of this game. No doubt.
They should have been. What a fun game to watch.
Absolutely. 13-0 our score. And we're in the bottom of the 8th. And Junior Fernandez in relief of Adam Wainwright. And the first pitch, a strike. So the 299th time that Waino and Molina started together tonight. That is also part of the story. This is our Chevy called to the pen. On track, I'd have to say, for his 28th career complete game, but a little longer than expected in the 7th, so they pull him. The night was over. In the 27 career complete games, take a guess, Hank, how many were caught by Yadier Molina? There's a soft liner. So he's got 27. Not going to get 28 tonight, but he's had 27.
25.
26.
26.
Nicely done. And the only other catcher who caught a complete game by Adam Wainwright was Jason LaRue. That's going a ways back. So one out here in the bottom of the 8th. And a strike at 100 from Junior Fernandez. This latest call up, it's been more efficient inside the strike zone. He can throw hard and he's got a good changeup, but it all depends on feeding off that very good fastball. There it is again, doesn't get the call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Junior, it's 13-0. No need to stare back into the home plate umpire.
No. Ball had some good movement on it, too.
Alford at the plate. He had the ball go in and out of his glove. Resulted in a home run for Dylan Carlson, his 13th of the year. Up the middle and a base hit. Turned around a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, he did. Made it look easy, too.
Brings in Ben Gamble. Started in left, moved to right. Leadoff man is 1 for 3. The base hit to center. Struck out and also grounded back to Adam Wainwright.
I was thinking that he might end up getting taken out of the game as hard as he crashed into the wall making that play in left field earlier.
Fastball taken high. Ball 1. There's that changeup.
Went back to it again there.
Tsutsugo is at the on-deck circle. Started in right field last weekend. He was in left, and he's shown the propensity to hit for power, and especially coming off the bench. Can they find him a position will be the question. The 2-1, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch to Gamble. Hit out of play. The 3-2 pitch. Got him. Comes back to strike him out.
Nice job working your way back in the count there.
So 2 outs, and Tsutsugo will be the pinch hitter. He's had 3 pinch hit home runs, including one the other night in Game 1 against Genesis Cabrera. He's 4 for 10 as a pinch hitter with a double and 3 home runs. Most by a Pirates, and Jose Osuna hit 5 in 2019. It's already the second most in the majors this year.
Well, you know he can hit a fastball after hitting the fastball off Cabrera. But with it being 13-0, you got to go after him.
Yes, sir. I'm sure the players are anxious to get this one over, head back to the hotel, get a little rest, quick turnaround tomorrow. Kwang Kim is on the mound for St. Louis. Will Crow for the Pirates. 11:30 pregame show. That's a ball. 2-0. Tsutsugo has been in 11 games with the Pirates. 8 hits, and 7 of the 8 have gone for extra bases. 3-0 the count.
Doing damage.
He walked him. Now Brian Reynolds, and Kisner is going to go out and talk it over with Junior Fernandez. Make sure they're on the same page with the runner at second. Well, part of the card, if you look closely, it says throw strikes. It's 13-0. I don't know if you saw that. It's in the fine print.
It should be. Well, you know he's frustrated because he knows that. You know he's trying to.
So here is Reynolds. He had one of the 3 hits against Wainwright, a double into right center. And that's a good changeup there.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You look at this guy's stuff and you say, man, you got something here, but consistency inside the strike zone.
Yep. He's just got to find a way to keep it over the plate.
And the 0-1 pitch to the All-Star Reynolds. Off the plate, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
It seems like he falls off a little bit to the first base side. Opens up a little quick with his shoulders, which is causing the ball to run off the plate.
Wainwright, by the way, doing the numbers here. His ERA against the Pirates is .30 this season. That's taken low. Don Cardwell of the Cubs back in '61 at a .24 ERA against Pittsburgh. Second best all time. Adam Wainwright here in 2021. The 2-1 pitch coming up to Reynolds. Two and two.
When you have numbers like that against Pittsburgh, that's when the season starts at the beginning of the year. That's when you look at the schedule and hope that your rotation spot comes up as many times as possible against the Pirates, knowing that you're going to go in there and hand it to them.
The 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out. 99 from Junior Fernandez. The Cincinnati loss. Padres could pull to within a game. They've got the Angels tonight. Cardinals hold on and would like to think that they will. Up 13-0. They would then be 3.5 back the start of play tomorrow. And this is Wilmer Defoe pitching. Chevy called to the pen. Wilmer Defoe.
Well, he's just lobbing it in there because he doesn't want to get hurt, but he has a rocket. I've seen it firsthand. He has an absolute cannon.
Do you feel pressure when you're a position player in this spot?
I think it depends who you are. I think a lot of guys look at it as a chance to pitch and have fun.
I meant as a hitter.
Oh, I don't think so. I feel like, you know what, it's going to be an easy at bat, so to speak. You're not in there grinding because you're not facing 100. But there might be, you might be slightly embarrassed that you couldn't hit somebody lobbing it in there. But as they say, be above or below the hitting speed, and as you know, this is way below the hitting speed.
Yeah, guys are kind of smiling, laughing, having a little fun. As Rondon sends one to center, it's well hit, but stays in the ballpark. Catch made. Defoe has got the first two.
Well, it's actually, I mean, if you take a look at what he's doing, I mean, he fired the first couple pitches up there 60 something, and then that one was 78. So it's not an easy at bat because you don't know what he's going to do.
There's Kisner, struck out his one plate appearance tonight. Cardinals up 13-0. Last time they won on the road scoring 13 or more and shutting out the opponent was August 1st of 2013. That was against the Pirates. Joe Kelly led the way for the Cardinals in that one. If they hold on, be the 9th time in history they've won a road game 13 or more runs and did not allow a run. Kisner chops it. That's Moran now at third. That'll be another infield hit for the Cardinals. Boy, we've had a bunch in this series, haven't we?
Yep. Line drive in the box score, though. Kisner will take it.
Defoe, by the way, the 57th position player this year to pitch. Saw Matt Carpenter do that earlier this year. Did it a couple times. Carlson is homered tonight. He's been on base 3 times. Yeah, the bottom line when you have this happen, you don't want anybody to get hurt either.
Right.
Just get through the inning, get through the game. That's a ball outside, 3-0. I don't know if you noticed the shot of the glove. There was all kinds of pine tar on it. Could be looking at a 10-game suspension. They check him.
I think everybody's looking the other way at this point.
I mean, that thing is loaded up.
It's not against the rules when you're an infielder.
Carlson going the other way and a base hit. So it's a 2-hit night for Dillon. On base 4 times tonight.
That was smart. I love the fact he didn't just give the at-bat away and just try to launch a homer. Pitch away, stayed back nice and quiet, and just took the base hit. They had him shifted all the way to the right side of the field. Why not just take the base hit?
Here's Sosa, who's had a big night for the Cardinals. Three hits, 2 triples, 5 runs batted in. Two strikes on Sosa. And Sosa hits it into center field. They'll hold the runner at third and load him up. It's his first career 4-hit game.
Good for him. His first swing, you've seen he tried to do some damage with it, but after that he slowed it down. These at bats still count.
And now Bader looking for his first hit. 0 for 3, the only one in this lineup that does not have a hit. Cardinals with 18 hits now. And Bader hits it out to deep left field. Alford will catch that one. Before it was in and out of his glove for the Carlson 2-run homer, and Bader gave it a ride. 13-0. Last time we saw him was all the way back on May 24th. So good to see this right-hander possesses an outstanding changeup. Back in the big leagues for St. Louis again prior to the game tonight. Cardinals put Andrew Miller on the 10-day IL, left foot blister. And Whitley recalled from AAA Memphis. He was 3-0 and a 1.69 ERA at 16 innings, 3 saves, 21 strikeouts in 12 games for the Redbirds. And the opposition was hitting well below 200. So Cody Whitley back in the big leagues for St. Louis. Colin Moran to lead it off for the Pirates. Cardinals leading 13-0.
Never want to see anybody go on the IL, but this is an opportunity that, you know, he's going to want to take advantage of.
For sure. And the Cardinals with Ryan Helsley and Justin Miller on the injured list. They need others to step up. Fastball at 94. Helsley was the pitcher that you would call upon the most with runners on. Did a really good job with inherited runners, and TJ McFarland has kind of picked up that slack a bit. There's a chopper right side. Edman to Carpenter and the out. Cardinals will face the 26-year-old Will Crow tomorrow. 20th start for the Buccos. Took a no decision in his last start. He's fourth among rookies in the National League in strikeouts with 84. 1 and 2 against St. Louis in 3 career starts all this year. He was part of the Josh Bell deal. There's a changeup taken low to Cole Tucker. And Kwang Hyun Kim back in the St. Louis rotation tomorrow. Back-to-back changeups.
That was filthy, that one. Bottom fell out of it.
A scoreless inning for Defoe. Lowered his ERA from 72 to 36. Taken low. He allowed 8 earned in his other inning of work. The 2-1 pitch, 3-1. Full count. And a souvenir for that young fan, even in a 13-0 game, and gives it to that young lady. They're sticking around through and through. And one of the reasons you stick around when the home team is down 13-0 and is allowed 18 hits is fireworks. It always brings them out.
Saturday night at the ballpark.
And time is called. Cardinals trying to pick up win number 66 here tonight, go to 4 games above the 500 mark, and it's a 1-out walk. Nothing gets the fans fired up like a little Whitney Houston on a Saturday night.
Yep. I wonder if Defoe picked that song.
I'm sure he did. Guys get to pick their walk-up music. What was yours?
I started coming out to All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
There you go.
Yeah, I like the beat when it starts.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. If I came out to something that was too intense, it seemed like it made me swing too hard. So I had to get something that was a little more chill. Maybe I should have tried Whitney Houston.
Maybe so. Cardinals 18 hits, season high. 15 the previous high. 13 runs. Second most they've scored. They had 14 against Washington. Cardinals do have, strength of schedule wise, one of the toughest remaining in baseball. Finish up with the Pirates tomorrow. Then go to Cincinnati, to Milwaukee, home for 4 against the Dodgers and the Reds. So very tough stretch of baseball coming up.
As you mentioned yesterday, though, they get to control their own destiny with that, though. At least to some degree.
Tap foul by Defoe. Pirates have an off day after tomorrow. Go to Chicago. And Defoe lines it into right for a base hit. Well, if you're the Pirates, I'll tell you what, you appreciate how he goes about his business. He plays hard. That's just the 5th hit tonight for Pittsburgh.
He does play hard, and I mentioned this the other day that he was a big-time prospect for the Nationals, so he has some tools and some skill sets.
Been very good off the bench, one of the top pinch hitters in baseball this year. Here's Kevin Newman. Hitless tonight. 0 for 3, twice grounded out to third, popped out to second. And Newman on the first pitch fouls it back. Taken low. If the Cardinals win tonight, they will have gone now 10-2 in their last 12 away from Busch Stadium and a game below 500 on the road. Ground ball could be 2. The turn, double play. Cardinals have a shutout in Pittsburgh. 13-0 on this Saturday night.
Well, Wainwright was fantastic. 7 shutout innings. The Cardinals score 7 in the first 3 innings and then keep adding runs. The 6th, the 7th, and 8th added runs to it. Great game for the Birds.
Off to the post-game show. 13-0 the final. Again, game 4 of the series. Cardinals try to take 3 or 4 tomorrow. We'll come your way at 11:30 pregame show. Stay with us. Post-game is next.